and non-native Africans. We are going higher. We are moving higher. Go Africa, going higher. We are moving higher. Go Africa. Join Miss Ria. I do it for Africa. Mr. Ken, Ubuntu DNA, and Dr. Olabinjo Yewande, Linguistic Department of the University of Lagos, and our moderators as we discuss the roadmap to Africa for diaspora and non-native Africans this Saturday. We are going higher. We are moving higher. Go Africa, going higher. We are moving higher. Go Africa.
Yes,
Hello.
I'm here. Sure. Yeah, sure. I can hear you.
Yes, please. And Constellation, we would like to hear more of you guys. Can you please introduce yourself as well?
Okay, my name is Eddie, and I'm from Nigeria, and I'm very happy to be on this program. And of course, I'm looking forward to get information about the trip to Africa. Thank you very much.
Nice to have you here as well with us, Eddie. Emilia, where are you hiding, darling? Come on, we would like to see your lovely face. Emilia from Daily Nuggets, where are you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Amelia Bywaters. I'm a teacher by profession, American, born in Congo, my homeland. Happy to be here. I'm looking forward to having Ria teach us some things tonight about Africa. And yeah, I am usually one of the moderator, but today Ria has it under control with our own Mr. Ken. Nice meeting all of you. Thank you. I know you have better things to do, but you chose to be here with us. Thank you so much.
Okay. Is Michael in the house? Michael, where are you? Are you with us? Actually, Michael is the one who started with these interesting Zoom meetings. I've learned so much during these Zoom meetings. I think all of us, we're not only having fun doing these Zoom meetings, but as well, we're learning a lot. And we hope that you can learn with us because that's what we do it for, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And are you there with us, Michael?
Yeah,
Please, let us see your lovely face. I'm here making advertisements for you. Now, I think he's maybe a bit shy. Michael is from Bridge Afrique. I mean, any news about mainland Africa? Oh, yes. You have Michael really working very hard, keeping us updated about what is happening on the mainland, interviews with our leaders, information about doing business in Africa. And I'm leaving it to him to tell you a bit more about it. Michael, enlighten us, please.
Yeah, good evening, viewers from wherever you are watching us from. My name is Kolawole Oladipo Michael. Yeah, I'm the publisher and CEO of Bridge Afrique Media Networks, the publishers of Bridge Afrique magazine, the magazine that was built to showcase the culture and to promote the beauty, the culture, and investment opportunities in Africa, in African countries to the world. We believe with the right investors to Africa, Africa will become a better place. And this Zoom meeting is to further shed more light on the circumstances in Africa. So we appreciate your presence tonight, and we believe we learn one or two things from any of from all our Zoom meetings that we conduct every weekend, every Saturday. Thank you so much for your presence here tonight. Thank you. My sister from another mother, Ria, the woman who will always do it for Africa. Over to you.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
Ken, are you there with us? Please introduce yourself as well. Now,
Well,
Ken is already in Africa, and we're really excited to hear his experience.
uh, good evening, everyone. My name is Ken from Mobutu DNA. I'm a Cameroonian, popularly known as Mr. Ken. I'm a business consultant, and I'm presently in Africa, Cameroon. Just sit back, relax, while you get the roadmap to Africa. You all are encouraged to come back home and make it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank, thank you, Ken. Um, well, I see that some of us already have signed in, so I will start. Ken, are you ready for me to ask you some questions?
Yes, I am
Or
ready.
can
I'm
you
ready.
please tell us how was it? How did you prepare yourself for the way
Well,
back? I would call it back because you're from Cameroon, right? And you're now back home after
well,
living so long in China. Please tell us your roadmap.
well, it's always been very challenging for most people because
Mm-hmm.
after staying out for long, you start asking yourself the question like, how are you going to cope? We all know Africa is very, very less developed as compared to
Mm-hmm.
China. But one thing that motivated me to go back home is because I always know most less developed places like Africa, I consider Africa, including Cameroon, like a virgin land. There's a
Yes.
lot of opportunity, and the problem is most Africans in Africa don't want to think, and most Africans abroad don't have the courage also to come back and invest. So I'm back here. There are many projects. Mr. Mike and I, we are putting on and other places that I'm trying to look into. But believe me, I'll tell you, there's a lot of opportunity, and that's what motivated me to come back. Just a lot of opportunities back at home. The means might be difficult, but there's a lot of opportunities back home. Entrepreneur, there's a lot of yeah.
Okay. I have a few questions here for you. One, when you how did you prepare yourself to go back home? Because I don't know, how long have you been in China or
Uh,
abroad, away from home?
Almost 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Mhm. And did you just decided that you want to go back home, or have you really prepared yourself? What is your checklist? What was your checklist?
Well, the first thing we all know, it cannot be same for everybody because for me, what happened was I decided after maybe the too much. We all know the too much protocols in China and all that. So I asked
Hmm.
myself,
Hmm.
why all this? When I have to be and you can be free, you can do whatever you want to do. So I decided to come back. First, my checklist. The first thing I decided first, I decided to place myself back at home, like virtually ask myself, okay, where do I fit back at home? Is it not
Hmm.
just going, not all about just going home and meeting families? Yeah. I asked myself the question, where do I fit? Maybe in politics, maybe in business, maybe in religion. You should belong somewhere and maybe you should contribute from there. So I noticed where I fit, and that was it. That gave me the courage to come back. That was my most important in my checklist. Where do you fit? You see if you're a business, you have business ideas. If that, do you have the finance? You've kept the finance. You have maybe financing, investors, partners, and all that. You put all that together and you come back home. It will work like magic for you.
Okay. In all those 8 years, right? You have been in China, and I think you have seen as well how China has developed itself. You have seen maybe some Chinese friends developing what they did to get there. What is your experience with, or don't know if you have met some friends who came back to China to settle here, who are Chinese? who were living abroad?
Yes. So, what is, come again, please, with the question? What is my experience
Okay,
about?
the question is, in short, in your 8 years that you were in China, have you met Chinese locals who have been living abroad and have come back to their country? Have you met such friends? And what have
Yes.
you learned from them?
Well, like as I said, I've met some few Chinese that have been to Africa, and to be honest, most Chinese people I've seen that have been to Africa, and they came back. They always tell me they feel like going back to settle in Africa because of the lot is back at home and all that. But what I learned from them, the most important thing that I learned from them is home is home. No matter where Chinese is, he always is home and always respect that. They always love home. Something is always like linking them back to home. And that some Africans lack. Maybe they don't just have the courage to come back, to face it and all that. Many Africans don't have that guts.
What do you advise them? How can they, what should they do to get the courage? What would you tell them to do to build this confidence?
Well, it's simple. I like as I said, I always look at the opportunities. Like we all know, anybody with an entrepreneurial mind will know that there's a lot of opportunities in Africa than anywhere else in this world. Just a lot. That secondly, home, it's always home. You're free, you feel this God, you feel you have this sense of belonging. It's a good thing. It's a very good feeling, especially after living for a very long time abroad and you come back home, the welcoming, all that. So what I'll advise the people outside is no matter how long you stay out, you should know you will finish by coming back someday. So the years you've spent out, the number is 20, 30, 10, 5, 6. All that you must be doing plans of coming back home because after all, you must settle back home. And this very home, before you left, you were living here, there are opportunities. You just need to come back, develop these ideas and see how it goes to make it more comfortable because we all know it's not very comfortable here. And what is expected for the people in diaspora is to bring the ideas they have back while they were abroad, to bring these ideas in Africa and see how we can make this work.
Okay. It's nice to bring ideas back, right? But I've been as well to Africa, and I'm telling you, I was very excited for the opportunities I saw. But to be very honest, as a non-native African, what would you advise people like me, for example, who would like to come?
Well, it depends. It depends on the country. But to be honest, there is no other continent in the world for us. Africa is one of the easiest countries for a foreigner to settle, to invest. Yeah, there are some other countries in Africa that are a little bit strict, and with the help maybe of a facilitator, you can easily invest or settle. But Africa as a whole that I know is very porous. If you have a good business idea, you have the finance, it's easy to settle. Seriously, it's very porous.
I hear you talking a lot about finance. How did you secure finance? Because of course, when you want to go back to Africa, you want to invest into something or you want to do something special. What did you do? Let me ask it like that.
Okay. Well, finance is one of the greatest challenges we always have when you come back home. Well, I, for one, before coming back home, not only in Cameroon, I had business partners in Tunisia. We've been automobile projects we've been putting together for a very long time. So about materializing. So it's okay if you cannot have finance, make sure you have the right connection, the right partners, the right investors, the right people to deal with. If you have these people at your steps, because at times also there are people who have the finance but they don't have the ideas. There are people who have the don't have the finance. They are both, yeah. So just try to meet with them. You exchange one or few things. You write up projects and send. Like the investor in Tunisia, I wrote my project and I sent to him. He read it. He said, and boom, he starts financing. He wants to finance.
Okay.
I mean,
so
yeah.
but I hear Tunisia. Tunisia is in Africa, right? So you found
Yes.
an African investor. That's great to hear, because we always think that if we want to find investors, we have to look for it outside of the continent. Um, what I hear from you, that there is lots of opportunities to find this investment in Africa. Can you give us a way of how to find them? Is there a website? Is there, how did you find them? Also by sheer luck?
Well, there are a lot of websites. There are a lot of pages. Like for example, I got this investor on the Facebook article. I published products. He saw it. He came to my inbox, said one or twice. He had the, so he proposed to me, is there any project we can take to Africa, like using the production all that? So I told him yes, and he was interested. Like which? So I proposed to him the automobile, like the automobile. So we signed everything. And I facilitated for him. We signed everything, and it was, I think, $4.5 million, and he's ready to go. As we speak now, I think the cars will be exported next week. So what I'm saying is, it's easy to find them. There are pages. You have Yellow Page, you have Facebook, you have even in Google you can find. You have they call this, I think, is angel investor.
Angel investors, yeah, I know.
They're investors. You just need to have a good project and present it to them. Who knows?
Okay.
Get one serious one.
There's lots of teachers here. There's lots of students. Many are scared to go back because, yes, I always hear this thing. Yeah, but there is no work at home. Yeah, but who's going to hire us, etc. What advice do you have for this group of people?
Well, what I always say since my stay in China, I always tell people this: the problem we have in Africa is we are bored with these complaints of there's no job back home. You studying out of the country, you studying abroad. It's an opportunity for you to create these jobs. It's not. We don't expect you to study and come back to Africa and look for jobs. You studying abroad, you should create these jobs, and that is the one point we are missing. People don't have the courage to create jobs. They don't have the courage to think. They don't have the courage to, out of nothing. They don't believe in Africa. We only believe, okay, maybe you go to school in China, you come back in Africa, you get a job, you earn a monthly salary, you take off and all that. That's what is limiting us. I believe, as a scholar, out of your country, you have more experience than people back in Africa. So you should be thinking of creating jobs. I'm telling you, a lot. Yeah, we know we have challenges, the government and all that, but it doesn't stop. People are still doing it. It's funny for people to be thinking of maybe studying abroad and coming back and looking for jobs. They should be thinking of studying abroad and coming back to create jobs to help those that are in Africa.
Okay. There's another thing, now another topic, because now we spoke about investment. I will come as well with my own advices of what I've seen from friends who went back, and as well friends who are the Chinese. I will compare it because I've been here 20 years. So I will tell you more of what my own, insights are. Okay, now you're back in Africa, right? You have lived a certain lifestyle here. What would you say to people who want to go and live there? What should they prepare themselves for culture shock wise? Reverse culture shock.
Well, it's completely two different world.
Okay.
It, yeah, it was not easy. When I just came, I was finding most things were very strange. Everything was becoming strange. Like here there's a lot of disorder. Disorder. Somebody can
When you
just
say
shout.
disorder, what do you mean by that?
Like let me say, for example, let me talk about driving. You have these bike riders here. If you're somebody who is maybe on your nerves, maybe you commit suicide because they don't respect the lights, they don't respect anything. They,
That was Beijing or China 20 years ago when I knew
all,
came. Interesting.
it's really challenging when you're from a country. People respect the law. They know this time they have to be at this place, and you leave. Boom, you found yourself in another place where
Okay.
people, everybody just doing what he or she wants. But the thing
Hmm.
is, like like a civilized person who have been out, you just have to try to blend. I cannot force those who are around me. I cannot force them to follow the new culture, but those that are really very disadvantageous and that are not good to the society as a whole, I will give a bit of advice and maybe tell them, you see why people do this is because of this, and why they do that is because of that. And those that maybe they're not very harmful, I also join them and I do it because I'm an African, and like at times I enjoy like cooking in the fireside with wood. It's nice, It's nice. I miss all when I was in China.
I can imagine. Okay. If let's say somebody who is, you're an African, so for you actually you know a bit of this culture, so it was not so strange to you. But
Yes.
somebody who is non-native, what would you advise them? How should they prepare themselves for all that?
Well, for this, I will explain this in this way. Africans as a whole, like my country, Cameroon.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think they have developed mentally in such a way that I think they accept to live with people from all over the place. You as a
Hmm.
native coming to Africa, I don't think you have any problem or you have any cultural differences because unlike when in China that most Chinese people are surprised with different cultures. They are
Hmm.
so you black. Why do you do
Hmm.
this? You eat a lot of chocolates. Why are you black? Do you have like that?
Yeah,
But here in Africa, they just don't care that much in most big cities. Yeah, if you come, you do your thing, you follow the laws, you live, you're happy, you're nice with people, you are welcome. You feel at home.
of course. Um, okay. I'm happy that at least. And what about the family? How do you deal with family matters? For example, you've been abroad all along, and now you're back with family. How do you deal with that aspect of getting back home?
Well, with family, it's always a challenge because family knows, okay, my son was abroad, he's back, he's bringing a bag of money. He harvested a lot of money abroad and he's coming back. So you always get like challenges of like maybe people submitting your problems to you, talking about finance and all that. You get all that. But aside that, you get a warm welcome. You feel, I mean, this sense of belonging. You
Hmm.
belong this warm welcome, this respect, this love.
Hmm.
One of the best things any you do if you stay out for a very long time, especially when things are very difficult, you should go back home to reconnect back. It's very important. Very, very important.
So, if I hear what you're saying, um, do you think it is better for somebody who wants to come back to first go maybe for 1 month
Very
to
absolutely.
prepare? Did you do that? Like first go back for 1 month, 2 months to prepare, and then come back to China, or do a visibility study in, okay, what will I need? What do I need to pack with me? What is there? What is not there? Not just boom, boom, and go. And how do you do that? Would you advise go and
Well,
live there for a while, 2 months or a month, and then come back with what you've researched, or it doesn't matter, you can get everything from online?
no, it's very, very, very advising that it's very good for somebody. If you think you can have the opportunity to come maybe 1 month, 2 weeks, go back to China, stay again, come back, it's good. Because when you are doing that, you're learning, you're studying the people's mentality, you're seeing how they can live, you're knowing. But it it doesn't also stop those who decide to come back abruptly. For those, especially those that is your country, where will you go to?
Mhm.
No matter where you go to, you're a stranger. Even if you have an American passport, you're still a stranger. You're home, you must come back here. So I don't think with those people they need any preparation. Boom, you come back. It's gone, it's gone.
Okay. Yeah, it's easy for you to say, but people will have a certain kind of lifestyle, I guess, wherever they are. And of course, you would like to keep that lifestyle a little bit, like little comfort things.
Yeah, you,
Um,
you're right. Let me cut you short, Rhea. But
uh-huh.
before having that lifestyle, most of those people they were living the lifestyle in Africa before going to see the comfortable lifestyle. So
Hmm.
coming back, your body will just adapt. It's normal. You just go back to the same lifestyle, and you go back to China, you go back to the good lifestyle, and it's still same. It's same. Just to have the courage to come back.
It's just a question of courage.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear always, yeah, oh, there is so many opportunities in Africa, and yeah, people should come back. But both you and I know that going back without any preparation is a no-go zone,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I already asked before, okay, what can we do? Yes, you said already find an investor, right?
Yes.
You said, or save money yourself.
Yes.
And you always say investor. It's like, is it needed that you do a big project to make it? Or can you just decide because somebody went back and he bought a lot of cooking ware actually, and he started a big restaurant back home. I know another a friend of mine, he went back and he was slowly filling a container with hardware, that he wanted to sell there, and as well was making sure he had a list of how can you say it, people who were going to sell it to him, the factories. He had a list of factories and agents who could deliver to him when he's back home. Um, but actually, yeah, all he started like a small thing. He went back and slowly now, if you go and look, he has a whole warehouse of these things, that he's selling or ordering from for people back home. He's not here anymore. Um, so would you say that it doesn't matter, just start with even a small project or what, something that's not there, go and investigate what don't we have there? Do you agree with that? If you look
Well,
at what is there now, for example, because you're there, you're our eyes now, lots of things that you've seen here in China, like, I'm just saying, a bakery, yeah? um, mm, you name it, all kind of little shops. Do you agree that actually all of us can do this? It doesn't matter if you what you studied. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go into this kind of um, what you have studied. You don't have to go into that direction. You can choose a different direction to earn your money, to make a living.
yes, absolutely correct. Very, very correct. It doesn't matter what you've studied. It doesn't matter at all.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
Survivor for the fittest. So, if you're a doctor and you can own a hardware shop, if it's putting food on your table and you're succeeding, why not? You go ahead. If you're a nurse and you're a pastor, if he's putting food on your table, go on. So I advise people, like as I said, it's survival for the fittest. Don't concentrate on what you did in school. Concentrate on what you can excel in. A shop, if you
So basically, if I listen well to you, you mean focus more on your skills.
exactly, it's very important. Very
Okay,
important.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many success stories. So that's why I love it because you're there already. I have a friend as well. She went back to Nigeria. She was here always doing her nails and makeup, and she started producing her own makeup. And now she has her own factory back home making makeup. You
You
know, she
see?
bought all these little machines, and it was here her passion. She was modeling, you name it, and she did communication, but she left the whole communication field and went straight into business, doing what she liked, which was anything that has to do with fashion, from nails, makeup, hair, uh, clothing. So I would suggest as well to people who are in the diaspora, wherever, if it's Europe or China, like we are in China now. I mean, as I always keep saying, China is a big market for us. All we have to do is take your little notebook and go around. Look at every shop that's in one street and start thinking, can this work in Africa? Now that you're there and you can be with me here in China and you could focus on a street where there's so many businesses, do you think it could have worked for you too?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It could have worked, and so it's working because every day today, you get people, you get industry, you get people calling you to ask, how you're from China because they know China. I will
Yes.
tell you one thing we don't know is until you come back to Africa, you know China is one of the best countries in the world you can succeed back at home if you have the
Mm-hmm.
right because now that I'm in Africa, many people, companies contacting you in China. Do you know this company that produce this? Do you know this company that produce this? How can
There
I
you
get this?
go.
Get
Mm-hmm.
this? Do you see this photo? Do you know where I can get this in China? And you can ignore it. You can know that, but that's a network you're building already. Maybe if you do the first supply, the second supply, who knows tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Millions, billions of dollars. It's a network. It's very important networking. So
Okay, networking. I hear
China,
you.
keep the good contacts, get into contact with factories. You will need them one day in Africa.
Excellent. Now you're talking. So I love that. And back in Africa as well, because I think there must be small shop owners who are struggling because maybe they're not as advanced as here. But because you have seen it all, you know where to get it, right? You can even show them little movies of, hey, this is what you can do. So you can be almost like an importer of ideas, importer of technology, and helping, instead of you doing your business. I'm just giving a suggestion, right? And as well, not for you alone, because you are actually now like a king, because you can make things happen there for people. You're like a king. Trust me when I say this. Um, you can help these little small enterprises and medium enterprises to upgrade them in whatever they want to do, because you have all this, you've seen the other side, you've been to China, you know what it looks like, and you have a network here as well that can help you because you didn't lose your friends, right? So they can
No,
tell you as well, oh yes. So basically you can bring two sides together. What do
absolutely.
you think? And have you done that, or are you doing that?
Well, it's like as I said, network building is something that takes time. To be honest, I haven't really come in contact with small companies. Uh, Mostly big companies that tell me, okay, they need this, and we are talking on it. Like as I tell you, when I was
Mm-hmm.
coming aim was not only Cameroon. My aim was Africa as a whole. So, like as I
Mhm.
tell you right now,
Mhm.
I think this week or next week, the first cars will be going to Tunisia.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm proud. I just like feel like some sign of fulfillment
Mhm.
because if I can facilitate a Tunisian company to
Mhm.
sign up with a Chinese company and get those cars cross over, I think first you'll be creating employment. And I also have the chance because he wants me to be his main business consultant. I'll have the chance to go there, and I mean it's all about networking, building. It takes time. I haven't had the chance to maybe deal with smaller companies. Now it's still with big companies, but network building is very important. Very important. China is one of the best countries you can have your network, and anywhere you're in the world, you keep working like you're in China. It works like magic, you know. Just
Okay.
focus on it, you're good.
So basically, you're saying that to prepare yourself, start with networking. Make sure that in your network you have as many as possible factories, suppliers, and people who have maybe students who have studied the material who can help you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
You that's just the first step and the most important.
Okay. Before you even think of coming back. Now that you're back, what would you say? Okay, what are the things that are very necessary to take with you when going back? What should be in your suitcase except for this network?
Well, mm, uh, I don't know if to say all in all, finance is always very important. Let me
Mm-hmm.
talk about, yeah, because
Okay.
you coming back, the African society, they are looking up on you. You're from
Mm-hmm.
abroad. What have you
Mm-hmm.
brought? What can you add to
Mm-hmm.
this? Yes, that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Maybe your gadgets, your laptop, your telephone, good internet, and all that. That's just because that's just all you need. Your gadgets to communicate with the world and all that. Like for example, I call my phone my office because you need during the 1 month I spent in Guangzhou before coming to Africa. I walked
Mm-hmm.
around cards, WeChat, and so most often people call you. I just see good connection, send email,
Mm-hmm.
send
Mm-hmm.
messages, you reply, you see good, so good gadgets and maybe a little dance. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That
Sorry. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Um, how is the internet there? How do you deal with internet? Because of course, here in China, we all have internet. It works very well. How do you deal with this?
well, like for example, now you see.
Or how do you prepare for it?
Well, for example, now you see the internet is good. I don't know in Cameroon, internet is not very poor. It's good.
Mhm.
It's standard. It can go like we're using internet now, but it's
Okay.
you just maybe have to look for cheaper packages and like monthly subscription and all that.
Okay. Mhm. Sorry. Mhm.
All that. Maybe you subscribe, you're good to go.
Okay. What would you say for a country where internet is not so good? How can you prepare yourself for that from China?
Oh, that is well, I haven't been to a place that internet is not good, but I know there are some African countries that internets are very poor.
Hmm.
All in all, I haven't been to one of those countries. I think there's nowhere in Africa now that we can have, let me say, there's no internet, zero internet at all. If there's no internet, you just move to where there's internet. I think your communication passes. Many, the telephone, the laptop, all these are mobile offices that can get people succeeding. And I meet people succeeding big time just with internet. Their offices are in their rooms. They just buy here, supply there. There are people who have the money looking where you just take here, buy there, supply, and honesty. That's all.
Okay. Now I want to talk about the banking system. Um, how do you deal with finances? China. Africa or anywhere in the world. If you want to buy your products or your money that you've invested, how do you deal with that?
Well, I will advise Africans once doing anything international from Africa, it should be from bank to bank. First, you have proofs. And you make sure everything goes smoothly. Because I know Africans we always like a shortcut. Maybe you call somebody in China, oh, I have money to swap. I want to swap money. You buy this. So that's the beginning of trouble. The banking system
Okay.
in Africa, their policies may be bad. They are as efficient as the bank in the world. It's good banks. Pay your money through the bank and get the banking details of the company you're dealing with. Let the transfer go from bank to bank so that it can be traceable in case of any default or any problem. Let
Mm-hmm.
this go from bank to bank. It's easy. The
Okay.
the bank policies might be bad, but the system is the same.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
Okay. So you don't believe in this money swap and money transfer little companies?
Money swap, money transfer, it's good. Yes, it's fast, it saves time, it's cheaper. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, cheaper becomes very expensive at the long run, Ria.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I would advise, like we have a problem now in China. We'll still the
Mm-hmm.
partner, and we are having a problem with a Chinese company.
Okay.
Uh, $1.5 million. Just imagine this. This happened. Maybe it was just maybe from a swap to the Chinese company. No proofs, nothing. Yeah, but it's from bank to bank. So there's
Mm-hmm.
all everything is assured. If we are not getting the money, we sue the company or the bank because the bank assured us that the goods will be applied and things like that.
Okay. Um, I don't know. Have you as well prepared yourself, for example, with um I had a friend who moved as well back to Africa, and she was like, she really filled her container with lots of towels and you name it, to bring back, because she knows it's not easy anymore to buy all these things like household goods and you know commodities that she's using on a daily basis, or electrical appliances. I mean, how did you deal with that? Or what can you advise? Oh, you don't need it, don't worry about it.
No,
Or yes, start, getting a pack ready, and
it
how
it
long before?
it depends on each and every one and every individual. There's somebody who
Okay.
might he wants to come. He's a show guy. He loves the fashion. Maybe he fills a container with dressing. There's another one who loves having his money. He wants to save more to come. There's somebody. But I, for one, what was my interest was about contacts.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a lot of contacts because I didn't care if I came back with anything. I needed these contacts. And these contacts are making things work for me now very much. I needed
Okay.
I spent time creating. I didn't care if I come back without anything, but I cared about my contacts, my WeChat contacts, my business contacts, factory, and all that. So it depends on what is important to who at what time.
Okay. Yeah. I That's fair enough of an answer. Um, how about families who come back with children? What would you advise them?
Well, the first thing I will tell families children is once you have a child in China, you should try as much as possible to always make that child have a taste of Africa. Come back home, maybe for holidays, go back, come back home for
Mm-hmm.
holidays. For a child who was delivered there in China and maybe just the change of culture, change, you should know, change is one of the most difficult things for anybody to accept. So
Mm-hmm.
a child was delivered in China, delivered in China, stayed there for the rest of his life, and boom, one day to Africa. Yeah, I think climate change is enough problem and all that. Yeah, so I
Mm-hmm.
think encourage those living in the diaspora with their families, they should always try as much as possible, maybe summer holidays, then to go to Europe, then to go to America that's having almost the same system and that of China. They come to Africa, spend good time. It's lovely. It's so, I mean, it's fun to be here. come with your kids. Like they start saying there's another part of the world like this, there's another part of the world where they belong. And like this connect with your soil, with the ground, connecting back with your motherland is
Okay. So yeah, you advise basically let the kid get accustomed first to the country
yes,
before you just from one day to another move and they don't know anything about where they're going to and have to adjust.
absolutely.
Actually, yeah. Okay. Um, what was the most difficult thing for you to adjust to? What do you miss most from your life in China?
Ah, well, life in China, it's easy. You want maybe delivery at your doorsteps. Now in here, if you want to buy something, they don't. That's why I say there's a lot of opportunity. You need to go to the store. You cannot maybe just. It's difficult. You go to the store. You need to work. You cannot just. It's not easy. There's a lot of opportunities here. I see them like opportunities. I don't see them like a problem to me. I see them
No,
like
actually, yeah. Difficulties are opportunities because a problem is something that must be solved. That means it is an opportunity. I
is.
definitely agree with you in this. And that's what I saw when I was there. I was like, oh my God, I really want to stay here because there's so much money here. Um, yes, but of course, as you said, the courage in doing this. And how about the, how you say this, the network that must support you, the support network. How did you dealt with that? Because coming back is nice, but you're not a one person. You need a support network. How did you prepare your support network before going back?
As in come again, I don't understand. You can.
Okay, a support network. With that, I mean, for example, you need a few friends at least. You need your family. Um, you need, yeah, maybe already um, a friend or family, or not even that, a company that's helping you with the small things to reconnect.
Well, Ria, I'm a man of the people. I have always been connected to my people all the time. While
Okay.
during my China, I communicated with everybody, even mad people. I communicate with them all the time. Back in Africa, I communicate with people. I always talk to people. So it was not very strange for me to come back and reconnect. I just told them, hey, most of them I came here. I stayed even 2 weeks and just called. Can you come? Say, where are you? I say, I'm in Cameroon. So it was easy because the communication was still going. While I was in China, I was still communicating. I was talking to friends, talking to family. I didn't stop all communication. The communication was still flowing perfectly.
Excellent. So basically, if I listen well to you, it is very important to stay in contact with family, friends, and
Absolutely.
even the man in the corner, the shop in the corner that where you are doing your shopping is even good to be connected to him. And how are you doing that? On WhatsApp, on WeChat? How did you kept the contact?
WhatsApp, Facebook, and to some others, when they want to get me on WhatsApp, they didn't get me. They write me, why are you not connected? So I say, oh, we are using another application here. You can try it too. WeChat, and just like that. But very important, the contact. I make sure the contact was kept.
Okay. So another advice what I hear from you is make sure that you connect family, friends, connections to WeChat because that is free of charge. To an easy communication app that costs both parties nothing. That is free.
Yes, and it plays a great role to you. You find out that when
Mhm.
you come, integration will not be a problem to you if you kept
Okay, when you do that.
not meaning you communicate with everybody, but the most important ones, those that can add value to you, those
Okay.
that
Hmm. I think you're frozen. Hello? Hello, is anybody there? Hello?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I'm here. You can go on. Go on. I can hear you. Just go on.
Okay. Um, anyway, who of you has plans to leave China in the near future and is already preparing for that?
I
Anybody
already
there?
left.
Sorry?
I already left for Africa.
Who is this person? Sorry. Can you introduce
My
yourself, please?
name is Olabinjo Yewande.
Okay. Wow.
Olabinjo. Hi.
Hi, nice
Hi.
to see you. Where are you?
I'm in Nigeria.
Wow. My favorite country. Which city are you? I visited there. Was there
I'm in
almost a
Lagos.
month.
Yes,
Sorry?
I'm in Lagos. I'm in Lagos.
Lagos. Oh my goodness. That's so cool. Hey, okay, tell us, how was your transition and why did you go back? Did you prepare for this?
Before I spent like 11 years in China and
Mm-hmm.
always seen it as a temporary stay from the beginning, from the
Okay.
first
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
It has always been a temporary place for me, a place
Mm-hmm.
where I would come and I would eventually leave. So
Mm-hmm.
it was not like I was absorbing a lot of things around me, and I think that helped a lot. That, however, before I left, of course, I had my friends in China. I had everything going for me in China. In fact, some of my friends felt I was crazy for actually choosing to want to go back home. But
Okay.
had gotten to that stage where we now think of ourselves as settling. And I do not want to settle because I felt no matter how long I stay in China, I still felt like a second class citizen.
Yeah.
That was always there. Yeah, you would always feel that even when I speak the language fluently, I know what's going on around me, but there's still that gap. There's always going to be that gap. So, but coming back home for me, like every other person, I had like this, I had to mentally prepare for it. It was not easy for me to say, okay, I want to go back home. I had to mentally prepare for it because it's a different world. I always make sure I come to Africa, to
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, maybe once a year, every time,
Mm-hmm.
but still felt new to me. It was almost like I didn't belong here when I got to Africa. And believe me, this is a place where I was born, and this is a
Oh my
place where
goodness. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it was like there was this mental transitioning I had to do. So even
Mm-hmm.
before I came home, even my parents did not believe. I said, okay, I'm gonna come back home. I just want to come back home now. And they were like, oh, you should have come. Things are expensive. This. I'm like, no, I want to come.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I did come. And for the first month, I thought, oh my God, I am gonna go crazy here. But still, it's beautiful to see. But for me, I had to prepare myself mentally. I had to prepare myself financially. That is important to come back.
How did you prepare yourself financially?
Financially, I made sure I saved every penny I had to come.
Okay.
I invested a lot before coming back home. I was investing in Nigeria. I didn't invest a penny in China. I invested here. Okay,
Okay.
so the I had investments here that even when I'm not making any money, I'm still trying to like get things set up.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
fall back on because believe me, you need a lot of things is cash based here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
So you need to be financially stable to even think about coming back home. Because believe
Okay.
me, there are several opportunities out here. There's so many things you can do, but the fact still remains that you need that finance that gets you that gives you a little leeway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Before you can
Yeah.
actually say, oh, I want to start a business or I want to do this, or you need to settle down first. So it's just like if you want to do a business, you have to like come back, you have to survey, do like a survey of what is applicable here. In as
Mm-hmm.
much as there are so many things in China that you like, oh, this can work. Can't we do this way? Why can't we do that way? But the fact
Mm-hmm.
remains that a lot of things cannot work here right now. I'm not saying in the long run it cannot, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
like right now it might not work. So you still need to come and survey, see what's applicable, see what you can do. And I think it's really nice if you're here. It's good here actually. It's not
Oh,
that
this is so
bad.
good to hear. Okay, I hear you saying that because I just was advising China is like actually a big shopping mall where you can find opportunities. I mean, there's lots of little things and little shops or SMEs that
Yeah,
can easily be done back home. Um,
yeah,
I hear you saying that, okay, it's difficult because it won't work. Maybe in the long run it would work. I like that what you're saying because okay, I always compare, right? Because I've been here 20 years, so I'm always using China as a model because it was when I came to Nigeria, I saw China 20 years ago. To be very honest with you, so I saw,
yeah,
wow, these guys are going to make it big time. I mean, if they do what the Chinese did, woohoo! I don't want to know what Nigeria will look like. And
yes,
I will go to, for example, my the man who does the printing for me. He had a little
okay,
printing shop when I first went to them. It was so small, it was a joke. He was printing, making name cards. They were not the best quality. But if I tell you now that this same guy, he is now printing books. He has like slowly built himself up. And I'm going
okay,
now back as well to Nigeria. When I was there visiting, there was a Nigerian man who had been studying here in China, and he came and he only saved money for one thing. That's what he worked for. He wanted to have his own tissue, I think tissue, toilet paper, everything with soft paper. He can do it,
yeah,
even he can print them as well for birthdays and at
yeah,
weddings, etc. He bought
yes,
that machine, and below his house of or his parents' house, he made that factory. He showed me how he started with one machine, and when I met him, he was buying his third machine. So that showed me that, oh my God, this is what China was. People were just people were always posting, look how Chinese make toilet paper, look at how dirty, da, da, da. But they started small, but go and look at their factories now, right?
yeah, yeah,
So you are actually lucky because you're already there. It means you're already starting to plant your tree. And that's a good thing because while we are still here, your tree is growing. You already have the challenges, you'll go through it because you're there, right? We here, we're just planning and all, but as long as you don't plant the tree, nothing will happen. It won't grow.
yes.
So I think in this way, you are very fortunate. Um, yeah, you're very fortunate because you can see your tree growing and you are there yourself making it grow because I hear many challenges of, oh, if you give it to family, some people, they send money back home
Yeah,
and then family has squandered it or done something else with it or eaten it and nothing happens. So when they come back, they see that, oh gosh, they have to start all over again. While if you're there and slowly start growing it, and maybe while it's growing you go back to maybe for 1 year or 2 years do something out abroad, maybe to get investment or what, you are still,
yeah.
it's I think easier as when you're abroad. Do you agree with me? What is your experience in this?
Actually, I think okay for those people that always give their family the money and they squander it. I think
Mm-hmm.
they do not have enough financial literacy, especially
Mm-hmm.
when it involves where you are here. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
now gone are the days when people you give people money and they would do something for you or maybe build a house for you and something. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
time when I was back in China, I usually deal directly with my bank. You see,
Mm-hmm.
everyone that has a Nigerian bank has a bank account officer, and you can put money there through your account. You can buy bills, you can buy treasury bills, you can buy bonds, you can even
Mm-hmm.
buy a house. Why not
Mm-hmm.
coming? Do you understand? So that's why I said it has to do with knowing where you're going, knowing the country. You have to know what's applicable in Nigeria. The economy is going like things are starting to get expensive here. But
Mm-hmm.
this that the things that are getting expensive here, that the things that are already expensive if you look at it in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So every time you send somebody money, they would want to buy their own things. Everybody wants to live a good life. So the more you give someone money to do things for you, the less you're able to achieve with that. But if you deal with corporations, financial institutions, then you'll be able to get the best out of it. With that being
So
said, when it comes to having like starting small and going big, that's
yeah.
the way country would work. That's the way things work. No
Okay.
country, no country develops by saying, okay, until I have billions of dollars before we start this thing, then
Mm-hmm.
you would never start up because you are looking at something too large. You have to test the waters first. Like for instance, now when I was coming back home, I had the option of getting a container and filling the container up with kitchenwares and
Mm-hmm.
things I think could sell. But I didn't do that because I wanted to see what's happening here when I get here. But when I got here, I realized that the consumer market is saturated with all those things I would have spent my money bringing back home.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had loaded a container and brought it back home, I'd be like, oh, I want to sell out this thing. It will be more difficult for me because people are bringing those things in containers already. It's huge already. So that would have been a wasted money for me because I would have found it more difficult to sell those things. So
Mm-hmm.
now I still need to come back and look at what is applicable. Now I have the knowledge of China. I have gotten everything. I know these things can work. Now you have to come back here and now see, okay, based on the Nigerian market, based on the African market, based on what's applicable here,
Mm-hmm.
what I do out of all the knowledge I have acquired. Not
Mm-hmm.
that I'll be like, but this already works in China, so why can't I bring it back to Nigeria? Things does not work that way because this place, things are more, I don't know how I call it, like this is like a reality check for me. China was like a big old bubble. And in back coming back to Nigeria is more like a reality check for me because you find out that people are actually settled into what they know, the norm. Do you understand? Like, so there are some things that I still find difficult here. Like there's some very small, tiny things that I feel like, why is it so expensive? Do you know, like
Some
in
small.
China,
Sorry, I didn't got you. Can you say it again,
so
please?
some,
Can you
some
repeat it?
small things, like very small things that you would get
Mm-hmm.
everywhere in China, then you come back home and it's expensive. So those
Okay, I
kind of,
see.
yeah, those kind of things might be an opportunity for someone that has the exposure and be like, okay, I could bring this home and probably be able to sell it in like cheaper price. But then you'd be like, okay, why are they expensive? Again, it goes back to the survey. It goes back to doing a research of what is applicable. Because most of the time it might be like the clearing of those things that made it more expensive. It might be like the fact that they are not producing those things in Africa. That's why it's more expensive. Okay, so instead of now bringing it in from outside the country, why not try to find out how to produce it here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, so you see,
Nice
you
one.
have to see, you have to like know where you're going to. You have to do a proper survey before you can come here. You just don't say, oh, they told me Africa is easy. They told me Africa has this. Oh, let me go. I have my money. Believe it or not, there's so many foreigners here already. So now you have to bring in your local knowledge with what you learn outside, which will give you a hedge, and you do your proper survey of what you want to do here, then you'll be fine.
Okay. I hear a lot from you hit there. And I think you yourself have a great opportunity there because you see what's not there. You see what can work. You see what is needed. You are actually a good, how can I say it, a lead for the people who are here. to work with, because there are people here who'd like to invest, but of course we're all terrified because we're thinking, oh my God, what will happen with my money?
Yes.
Okay, the safe way. You've been in China, so it's more easier to trust you because you could easily have put up a company here for people to trust it, right? And you can be then the one who is actually helping, or helping, I want to say helping, consulting um,
Mhm.
students, people who are working here who want to go back. And I wouldn't even say want to go back, who at a certain point have to go
Yeah.
back, because the limit is 60, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
would say you can actually help them, or help them. Again, I say the wrong word, consult them, um, how the roadmap back home,
Yes.
instead of running away, the roadmap back home. You can be
Yes.
even the one who starts companies for them, that if they
Yes.
come back, the company is already there, it's growing with you. You have a percentage, I don't know,
Yes.
10% or 20% in this company as well. This is what you can do because you're there already, you see. You can
Yeah.
be the bridge between
Been.
us here and wherever they go. Maybe, yes, for Nigerians. And I mean, come on, the Nigerians are the biggest African group here in China, as we know, and the largest
Yes.
economy in Africa. You can be a great bridge for these people, because I know there's a lot of them working as teachers or
Yeah.
in other kind of industries, and all of them, they working, maybe send money back to parents, supporting parents. But maybe you can be that bridge that is saying, darling, supporting parents is actually putting money in a bucket that is full of holes, because the
Yes.
money will go straight to the toilet or nothing else. But how about investing in something? Let your money work for you instead of only feeding. And maybe you
Yeah.
can be something like, I'm just giving advice here.
Mhm.
So I'm just listening to you, and then based on that, I'm advising, but not only advising, but actually as well looking, is it possible? Um, you can be then the one who says, okay, yes, I can open a little, I just say again, this printing company for you, and
Yes.
I would run it for you, or I will make sure I help you making stuff, da, 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 all of that in it. And I'll take 10% because we will be partners. You partner with them actually.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
basically, you are building up your country. And not only you, but it will give people more cars. Seeing you doing it, they'll think,
People.
hey, I
Yeah.
can do that too. So more will be encouraged to come back and start doing that. Do you think this can work? Because maybe I'm just, yeah, it's easy to talk and give advice without being in that situation, but I'm just listening to your conditions right now. I'm listening to what you've been through in China, and I'm
Yes.
listening to your capacity. I don't even ask, what did you study, by the way? What were you doing in China?
What I was doing my PhD in applied linguistics,
Okay.
and then
And
I
are
was
you
doing,
working in that?
yes, I was coordinating the program between my university back home and
Mm-hmm.
some
Mm-hmm.
universities in. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
Yes.
right now you're in business in Nigeria, or still working for a university?
Right now, I still work for my university, and I'm also in business for myself.
Okay, great. Can I
And
challenge you to start becoming a consultant for
yes, I
Africans
try
back
to
here?
do it. Yes, I can. Yes, I can be a consultant for them. Actually, I have this business where if people want or need a company in China, they could find me and I will find them a company. Or if they want to invest in Nigeria, or they want to, like you said, like bring in their money, they want to like set up things, I could do it for them. I can. Yes, that is
Do you
actually.
have a company in Nigeria that you already set up, a legal entity?
Yes, I have,
Because yes,
not
I
for
would
the
love to
one.
promote you here, but I need to
Okay.
know that it's legal. I need to know that you are. Yes, of course, I cannot do that. And of course, I will definitely do the checkups with the embassy, etc., to make sure.
Okay.
If that
Okay.
really, I would love to promote you here because I know one day my people have to go back, and it'd be always great if there is somebody at the other hand who can
You can,
professionally help them to
yeah,
come back. That's most important, professionally.
help them. Okay. Yes, I can have a company set up for that because I really do that freelance. But I can
Okay.
have the company does another thing. We're in the production,
Mm-hmm.
the production. So we're about
Mm-hmm.
to kick off that. But to do the consulting and helping people settle down, uh, that is definitely a business that is viable, and that's something that I can register a company for and have that
Mm-hmm.
on that. That's something that is viable, and because I already do it, but it's just for freelancing. But I will work on that, and I would get back to you on that.
Wow, you made my day today by saying that because I'm always looking to help people, or help make sure that we make a better life, because I don't believe in somebody who's highly educated to just be a teacher. I don't believe in that. I think we
Of
can do much better.
course,
And it'd be great if you could consult as well that, okay, yes, you're
yes,
a teacher, but please do a bit more. Wait, here I see a message from uh, Michael. He's asking, um, your name is Ola Banyo, your direct phone number and WhatsApp, please, for business partnership. Now you see, I got you already a partner there. There you go. He likes the idea as well. He wants to partner with you because I really
right.
believe it's needed. That's why I brought it up. I see there is really a problem because I hear always friends complaining about this. So that's
Yes,
why I thought, let me bring this to you so that now that you're there, I mean, we are here, right? And we're
yeah,
groping in the darkness, looking for ways. Even I might be willing to invest in Nigeria. And that I would be very happy to know that, hey, there's somebody at the other side. Uh, Mrs. If you can look at the chat, can you see the chat?
yes. I'm trying to reply the chat right now.
Yeah, because I think he just gave you. Oh no, you are the one who gave us the.
Phone
Okay, you
number.
did already. Yeah. Okay, great. I make a picture of it quickly, so I have it now. Because really, do that. Okay, I will give you my own as well, so that you can always reach me. If you have questions or more advice needed, of course, I'm willing to be there. Let me see. Mine is okay. You know the Chinese telephone numbers, right? One three
Yes.
zero 519 11
Just give me.
003. And this is as well my WeChat
Okay, can
and
you
my
say that?
WhatsApp.
Can you say your number again?
It's 130 519. I actually send it in
Okay.
130 519 11 003, and that's in China. It's as well my
Yeah.
WhatsApp number. So you can always
Okay.
contact me, whatever you need from this side, and let's make it happen. Because
When-
it's not fair, I think, to people who work this hard to lose their money, and the money is
Mhm.
not working for them. Let's make sure
Yeah.
that whoever is here, that the money is working for them back home,
Yes.
where they know
Yeah.
that even they've been kicked out or whatever can happen,
They can
there
have.
is a place already
Yeah.
ready
Yeah.
for
I
them.
strongly recommend people to go into buying bonds, doing treasury bills, and things like that to have their money secured here, and
Okay.
yet they're still making profit here. So when they're actually now ready to do the big business, they would not start looking for money, and they would have. So all those things, the banking things, they're all available here. They can buy houses, they can do a lot of things without physically coming here or actually getting in touch with any family member.
Wow, now you're helping because yes, I hear a lot of stories that people are building houses, family is not looking, and actually they're not moving forward because there's your money. As I said already, it's like putting it in a bottle full of
Yeah.
holes, put water in a bottle full of holes, and you
Yeah.
just, it just flows out. And when you come
Yeah.
back, you find an empty bottle.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's
Yeah.
really, I think I love your insights. It really helped. Another thing I wanted to ask you, okay, when you were in China, how were you preparing for it? What did you do before you left China back to Nigeria? Because you've been here 11 years, right?
What did I do? Okay, what I
Mhm.
did was, first of all, I started working on my business. I got people to do survey for me back home. But before, like I said, from the beginning, I never saw China as my home. It was
Okay.
never. And I was working I was working as a teacher also, and I was earning so much money, and
Mhm.
my friends always thought I should be living in a place where I should pay like maybe 10,000 naira for rent, 10,000 RMB for rent. And I'm like, no, why would I do that? I'm helping the economy to grow, and
Mhm.
that. So I chose to live in a place that was like 3,500, and people actually thought like I'm crazy, especially someone that had like 20 something thousand a month for teaching. But I always known that I would come back home. That was the ultimate goal for me. So every time, every month, I made sure I earn and I save almost 80% of what I earn. So
Okay.
I tried to save that. I put it everywhere. Actually, I kept the money in. I bought a house before I got here. In fact,
Okay.
I'm living in one of the houses I bought. I bought a
Okay.
house before coming here,
Mhm.
and after I bought the house, I invested in a lot of things. I invested in bonds. I have euro bonds, and I have like, and I registered with an investment company
Okay.
back in. So with the investment company back in Nigeria, I just need to like put my money there. They would tell me, "Oh, you should buy this, this, this." Okay, let's buy it. I got stock. Let's. So when I got back, and even the university, we were not working for like 6 months, and I could say that I was still spending the money I earned back in China, because the first 6 months were more like, okay, what do I do now? It's almost like, okay, this environment is totally different. And I had to like, now I'm like, okay, I still have this money to fall back on. I have that money to fall back on. And I did not borrow, I didn't give anybody money. If I'm giving my family money, it's me giving them money, not giving them money to do something for me. So eventually I had a lot to fall back on. So I've been creating the cushion for myself even before coming back home. So I would always put my money in the stock, or I would buy shares or something, or I just kept buying. I bought a house. I tried to build
So
a
you made
factory.
sure that basically in China there was actually hardly any cash. You make sure earn
Yes,
out, earn out,
yes,
earn
and
out.
so
Okay, gotcha.
every time. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was just creating like a cushion for myself. Things I could do, fixed deposit account, this account, that account. And at the end of the day, when I came back, I did not come back to start from the scratch. So if I'm keeping my money back in China and kept keeping it, you know how it is over there, because you
Yeah,
have to,
yeah.
there are lots of, so so every time I made sure I was creating like a cushion for myself here. I was
Okay.
creating something to fall.
Excellent. Okay, there is another question I want to ask. Okay, you said you were investing, right? But I know there is a lot of us here who have to take care of family, sisters, kids, you name it. So they send money back as well to take care of family. What will you advise them? How would you, what would you tell them? How to invest? Because um, would you let your family know, or because while you're building your house, do you think you should keep it secret, or is it okay to tell your family while you are
You can
supporting them as well?
you how do I say? I didn't The house I built from scratch was handled by my dad. but it was
Okay.
handled also by an engineer that was my friend. But that aside, the house I live, I just bought outrightly. There's so many companies here that can buy, that can sell, and that can sell you houses. So you do not need to be.
Hello, are you still with us? We really don't want to lose you. Hello. I think we lost her 5 minutes. Is there somebody else in the house who has been who is living in Africa right now, or who is planning to go back to Africa? Can you please? Hello?
Next person, I'll be. Oh,
Sorry, what's your name?
yeah. Okay, maybe someone else is speaking, right?
Uh, okay, yes. No, I can see you again. Hello. What's your name, please? Can you please introduce yourself?
Myself, right? Hello.
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, my name is Eddie. I'm Eddie.
Yes. Hi, Eddie.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, myself. I'll be going to Africa next month or next 2 months.
Is it for good, or is it to start doing your feasibility study?
Yeah, I've done the I've already done the feasibility study, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
going there to more partnership with the African companies there, and open a
Mm-hmm.
mini branch, a live mini branch there, Africa in general, not just to the East Africa, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because
Wow. So
like
you're leaving as well? You're leaving us?
I'll be back. I'll be back 2 weeks. I just did 2 weeks. I'll be back.
Oh, you'll be
Yeah,
back. Okay, just to
I'll be back.
start
Yeah.
actually to do um the foundation work.
Yeah, that's right. Because just like the
Okay.
other speaker said,
Mm-hmm.
because I listened to her carefully. I think we have some business direction because I've been in China for a long time as well too, and also I have the feeling it's a long time that this is not my country, and so I think the best thing for anyone to do, not just Africa, is to go back to his where he came from and invest, and because we are accepted in those areas better than any other place in the world. So conclusion, I'm
Okay.
going back to Africa for business. Yeah, instead of relying in a strange land.
Okay, when you say Africa, we all say Africa always. Even I make that mistake. You
Yeah,
are from Nigeria, same like
yeah.
the lady we spoke to just now.
Mm.
Um, when you say an African, go back to where you came from. You mean really the country you came from, or it can be as well another country in Africa?
Well, okay, from myself alone, I'm
Mhm.
going back to where I came from. Then I'm going to call. I'm going to East Africa. I'm from West Africa, Nigeria, but I'm going to East Africa because there are a lot of opportunities there than here in China or in America. There are a lot of opportunities
Okay.
there. Yeah,
Okay.
because if you follow the news recently, a lot of resources, right? A lot of resources are being sold out
Mm-hmm.
from Africa. Africa is the resources land. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so other countries like Europe or China, they are the refined products. So I am going
Okay.
back to Africa to work on the natural resources. Yeah, and of
Okay.
course, yeah,
Wow. It's same like. Sorry, I see that you're back.
yeah,
I
she's
keep
back.
forgetting your name. Mrs.
And
I just spoke to you. Forgive me not knowing your name. I always have to. Can you please say your name again?
Actually, Dr. Olabinjo Yewande was the coordinator of all Unilag students that came to China for exchange program in Chinese before she left.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
so she's not only their president but also their governor general. She's in charge of all the students that are coming to China from Unilag. So she's she did a fantastic job while in China. Yeah. So again,
Okay.
I want to also introduce Mr. Busayo Emmanuel. He's based in Italy and is the author of Life Changing Steps to Achieve Your Dream. The book, I mean, one of the bestsellers book. Is also in our midst today. So I just want to
Okay,
introduce him.
how? Yes, we would love to hear from him.
Exactly.
Please, can you introduce yourself? Hello, good evening. Michael, can you tell me, please, what was his name again?
Yeah, Emmanuel, Busayo Emmanuel.
Mr. Emmanuel, are you there with us?
Hello, Mr.
Hello.
Busayo.
I
Hello.
think it's frozen, right? The camera's
Okay,
frozen.
I think he has issue with his network. We can go ahead with with Dr. Wumi, Dr. Olabinjo Yewande. I think we can proceed with Dr. Yewande.
Doctor, okay, but I don't hear him still.
No, I mean
Hello.
we can go ahead. We can go ahead with Dr. Olabinjo Yewande, the lady, and
Oh, the lady. Oh,
our
so
speaker. Yes.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, because you were explaining to us just then something when the camera froze. Can we go back to
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
Yes, there you are.
We're talking about what to prepare before you leave, how to invest before you leave.
Yes. Yes,
And
exactly.
that you can buy you can buy houses. You can buy houses. You can
Okay.
invest through financial companies. You can invest your money through your financial companies that it doesn't need to touch the hands of your parents or your family. You don't even need to know about it. As long as what you're doing is legal and as long as what you're doing it with a viable company, not just
How do you
anybody.
know? That's a good question. That's a good advice. But how do you know it's a viable, it's a legal company? Because I heard a lot of scams as well going on there. How do you prepare
Yes,
yourself for that? Because that's another challenge. You see, that's why people go to the parents. Or yeah, you're lucky with
yes,
parents, but there is some who are unlucky with parents too. you know.
yes,
So how
yes,
can you do it? And it's not only about hiring a company to do this, but it must be as well at least uh, not too expensive. It must be
yes.
affordable. Um,
Affordable.
how do you find these affordable companies? Because yes, I've seen them as well because I love this kind of research, and I see these companies are expensive. I mean, it's almost like uh, you're paying a quarter more to what
Okay,
you're buying.
okay. So the thing is that those kind of things is it
Hmm.
like like the consulting companies that I talked about, we need to like open a consulting company for people that wants to do these things, but
Yes,
because
definitely.
we know
It's
for a
needed.
fact we know for a fact that these things are not expensive. That's a
We know
fact.
that
Yeah,
people,
we know
yeah, but
it's not
yes, but
expensive.
people who are not from Nigeria like me, we would like to, we're maybe diaspora, from the Caribbean or from wherever we are in Europe,
Yeah,
and we would like to invest in Africa. But then, how do you start this? And where do you find this?
yeah, because people always tend to like want to
Mhm.
swindle the other person. You want to swindle them. You want to play fast one. You want to hand so much money
Yeah.
from doing so little. Okay, so but the thing is, for me, I did not have to go through a lot of. I don't have to go through a consultant. I didn't have to go through a lot of things because I tried to do my research online. I tried to do my research. Now in like internet age and any company that is serious about doing something would be on the internet. Now you have to find them. Okay, that's why some
Not
people
necessarily, by the way, not necessarily, but
I would
I would
in
say,
Nigeria, I would say they have to be and they are.
okay, let's say it like this. Not everybody is computer savvy. right?
Yes.
Not
Yes.
everybody would know how to look, because I myself, sometimes friends were asking, and I'm like looking like, what are you asking me? Just Google it, you know? I Google it
Mhm.
too. But then I realized, the way we are searching for certain informations, you must be a bit
Yeah.
of a pro to find the
Yeah.
information. You must be a little bit of a pro.
Okay.
No, these
Accept that.
people, sorry, and many of us are not those pros. I know this now. Maybe
Yes.
we are just teachers, or we are whatever, artists, or just entrepreneurs. And not all entrepreneurs are educated. That you must not forget either.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and still, this group needs to be accommodated to, or some were brought in maybe as house helps or whatever. They wouldn't know, you know. But still, we want to help them too, because they work hard, right? And they earn enough to live a
Yeah.
dream, and that's where you
Mhm.
can come in. So
Yeah.
let's not presume that they know. I think this is a big opportunity for you, what I'm telling you now, that you can be the bridge back home, because you're
Okay.
there, you see the problems, you've been in China, you know what the challenges are for the people. You can put yourself in their shoes. Um, and then it comes again. What would you advise, for example, people with children, young
Mm.
children? How would you advise them how to prepare for coming back?
For coming back, for people with children, I really
Hmm.
think the parents need to do a lot of the work. And believe it or not, I do not support I do not, if they've never been to Africa for a very long time, I do not support you to bring all your family at once. I would think like maybe one of the partners should actually come, try to settle down, then bring in the remainder of the family. Because if everybody has to come at the same time, then the odds at everybody would face the orders, and nobody wants their kids to see any kind of hardship. So I
Hmm.
think one of the partners should come first and see what's applicable, what's on ground, how the opportunities. Spend maybe around 6 months in Africa, then you bring your family in. Yeah, at that point, you know what's applicable. You know what works for you. You know how to like bring in your family and make sure they
Hmm.
have a good life. Yeah.
Wow. Are there links that you know that people can go and look at, of where to find this information? But anyway, you're setting up your consultant company,
Yeah.
so you can do that. Well, I'm helping you still. So I would say definitely set up this consulting company.
Okay.
Michael already said willing to partner with you, so there will be a company here in China and in
Okay.
Nigeria. And Michael is definitely somebody from the embassy. So there you
Yes.
go. I can trust it. We
The
have one.
brothers.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes.
it's very important for me, because I
Yes.
cannot go promoting you if I cannot have this strong trust. I won't want
I
my
actually
people to
have a
get
very
into trouble.
close, I
Mhm.
actually have a very close relationship with them at the consulate. So we
Excellent.
yes. So they know me very well. My name can get you back into the consulate.
Excellent. So you make me even happier now. Actually, I'm very happy because I see a solution that's going to be
Yeah.
created. And I hope
Yeah.
that you take it serious, because trust me when I say this, it is a big problem. And sometimes the stories I hear, it breaks my heart, because
Um,
some people are showing me pictures of houses that were never finished, that the
okay.
troubles, or things that were stolen. They brought containers back home with all the things to build the houses. And
Yes.
then you find that things were stolen or sold by family and it was never used, all these things. So, okay. Another thing I wanted to ask you, because you say building a house back home, right? How did you do it? Did you bought things from China and brought it back home for your,
Uh,
or
actually, I
everything was locally bought?
actually I built a factory back home, and
Whoa, this woman. Oh, sorry, I have to applaud you. 2 minutes.
the
Wow,
one
because this is my thing. I love people who build factories, not only buy and sell. Lady, I have to applaud you big time. Sorry, I have to.
Thank you.
Bravo.
The
Bravo.
thing
No,
is,
bravo. And do more. I want you to help
You're the
others to
best.
do the same and
yes, I
invest
am.
in them. Give them, take 10% and give them the 90%. Let them be your support.
Yeah. Actually, for the houses, I built one, I built a factory, and for the other
Hmm.
one, I bought a company. In fact,
Okay.
I remember telling my friends that I bought a company from Instagram. They thought I was
Ah,
crazy. I found a company on Instagram and I bought from them. But that again
wow.
goes into being viable. If the company is viable, trying to find the company and make sure they are viable. Do your research on the company. I
Hmm.
found it was an advert. It popped up on my Instagram, and I was like, "Oh wow, okay." Then I started doing my research about the company. I actually had people go there to visit their office and find out more, and I paid for it. When I told my friends, they thought I was crazy. You know,
Yeah.
they thought I was.
You're lucky. I think your ancestors must have been next to you. I swear.
I know.
It must
But
have been.
no, I did the research on the company. I found that if they were viable or not. I went
Hmm.
there, I did the groundwork before I could even pay for them.
Okay.
So when I got back home, I went straight to the company because my sister go check the company. She didn't know I wanted to buy. I just said, hey, I found this company. They said they have an office here. Can you please go there for me? And she went there. She was like, oh, it's fine. I was like, okay, act like you want to buy it. Ask them all the questions. So she went. And I was then sending her messages like, okay, ask them this, ask them for this. Then I saw a contract. I read through the contract several times, make sure they implicate themselves in the contract. Then I paid
Yeah.
for it. My point is, there was still a research that was done with this
Okay.
company. So I just do it blindly. There was this research.
Hmm.
And when I was building my factory, I actually had
Hmm.
that's good family also because I had my friend do that be the engineer. So he started it up. Then my father had to supervise them. So he did not know where the money was going, but he had to supervise. So and then I was grateful I still got a factory. But the thing is, I would strongly recommend that if you want to, people in diaspora should buy houses, should get things that will make their money safe, where you know that your money is safe every time. You know your money is safe.
Hmm.
Buy houses with reputable companies. Don't buy with any small company that's shady. Buy with reputable companies, buy stocks, buy bonds that your money appreciate no matter what happens with the dollar. Your money still appreciates and you still get some money from it. And then when you come back home, you can physically do what you want to do. You can build the house you want to build when you come back. So if you cannot risk having your family build a house for you or getting a company to build a house for you, which would be very expensive, you can invest your money, then come back home and build your thing yourself. That's
Okay.
another.
Actually, it's nice that you say this because you can put it in bonds, but you see, right now, I think the prices in Africa are quite low. By the time you
Mhm.
are deciding to come back, the price might have shot up. I heard
That
many of these stories too.
they say that, but that only happens to a money that is sitting down in your bank account. If your money is sitting down in your bank account, then it depreciates. But if your money
Now
is
you're talking.
appreciating what you have, then it doesn't concern you what happens to the dollar. You're spending the naira in the economy. So, for instance, now if you invest in a treasury bill, okay,
Hmm.
treasury bill you have it for 6 months. They tell you that you get 15% for the money you kept in. So now for this quarter, I have invested. Maybe I kept 15 million naira in it.
Hmm.
In another 3 months, they would, if I invest for 3 months, they give me 15% of 10 million naira. That's an
Hmm.
extra million there. Then I do another 6 months, then I get an extra. So whatever is happening to the dollar, it's not affecting your money because you still getting interest on the money. I see it as still getting free money on top of your money, if you get what I mean.
I hear you
So
very well.
free money
Mhm.
you are getting on the money you keep there, it doesn't concern you what happens to the dollar. You are still having money kept on top of the money you have, and it's not just sitting down there. So if it's
Mhm.
sitting down in your bank account, then you're losing money. But if the money is appreciating, then you're not losing money. It doesn't. And the thing is, you are gaining more money because every time you put money into that account, you're putting from your dollar account or your RMB
Woman,
account.
I love you so much. I'm so serious that you have to put up that company. I don't know what you must do. You have a factory already, so I know you can do it.
Yes,
And
I can.
yes, I'm going to talk to your people in the embassy that they definitely have to make sure that we all know. I will help you definitely with spreading the news once you're settled and open. I will definitely be there because I cannot be advising you and then I just disappear. That's not nice. That's not nice. So I
Yeah.
will be there with you and Michael, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah.
Is there another advice that you can give us for leading the way back home or for people who are still here? What more can they do?
I think Nigeria
Is everything available for building a house there? Let me ask this. Is there everything available?
for buying a house, yes, it is available. Things are available for you to buy an apartment, to buy a
Okay.
house.
How are the houses like? Is it with very basic designs, or do you think it's better to buy basically a shell and then finish it off with things that you buy in China?
Okay. Actually, you can actually but there's some houses that they do now that are ready-made houses. They're already built. All you need to do is the features in the house. There's some there are even some sold by the government that it's
Okay.
already just need to like move it. I bought one of those when I got back. So it was already ready made and you just have to move in. You have to, of course, you have to fix one or two things in the
Mm-hmm.
apartment, which
Mm-hmm.
no, but at least you know you're getting an apartment. You're not at anybody's mercy. So you're actually getting
Okay. Okay.
so
I see Amelia has a question for you. Amelia, are you there with us? Hello,
Yeah.
Amelia. Yes. Bring it on, girl. Emilia
Okay.
is
Yeah.
from
Okay.
Congo,
Yeah.
by the
I
way.
was I
Yeah.
was kind of curious. I was kind of curious to hear her say she got a company on Instagram. How can you get a company on Instagram?
Oh God.
And then
Insta-
and then my other question was, she said something about the company has to be reputable. How what criteria did you use to conclude that the Instagram company had a good reputation?
okay. Thank you for your question. Actually, I did not just buy a house on Instagram. I found
Mhm.
another financial company also on Instagram. The thing is, for the financial company, when I found them, it was just one of those ads that pop up on Instagram. Then I went back, I Googled the name of the company. Then after I did that, I Googled top 10 financial companies in Nigeria. And I realized
Mhm.
that they were part of the top 10 financial companies that were in good standing in Nigeria. I was like, okay, why not? So after I did that, then I had a family member to go to the company physically and to see if they actually have a company, a
Mhm.
physical company. Believe me, when I got in touch with the company, they sent me WhatsApp information and things like that. Their website, I went through their website to ensure that uh, they have they have a good financial standing because believe in
Mhm.
Nigeria we have those MMM companies that will tell you, oh, I can make you 500, 1,000,
Yeah.
and they would swindle you. So I had to
Yeah.
be careful with that. So I had to Google top 10 best financial companies in Nigeria. in Africa, and I could just Google it and find out more about it, have a physical check, and that was how I found a financial company in Nigeria on Instagram, and that was how I found a housing company on Instagram.
Okay, and
Wow.
also you said something about it doesn't matter how the dollar is doing. And I was just wondering because sometimes you watch like on TV, you have these multi-million companies that basically just lose everything. So are you
Mhm.
referring to the power of compound interest or what?
Yes, I was actually referring to the power of compound interest. And I'm strongly against having your money in a bank just sitting down. That money sitting down in bank account, you're losing it. So the more that is the money that dollar actually affects. So the exchange rate now, if I want to do business, I want to do my business in Naira. So I want to invest my money in Naira, make my profit in Naira. And now, if my money is not just sitting down in my bank account or me waiting to change the money back into dollars, then I am not losing money as long as I'm making interest on that in the money. I'm not talking about the interest the bank gives you every month, the tiny one. I'm talking about actually investing the money on something where you can get your money back.
So what interest rate are we talking about? Because I know that American banks is like 2.5%, and some of those credit union will go up to 7%. So are we talking like 12% maybe?
Actually in Nigeria. They had recently we have treasury bill at 15%. Recently
15.
we have, yeah,
Whoa. That's a
15,
lot.
15%,
that's a lot.
15%. I am moving to Nigeria.
That's why I'm saying to you,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
need you as a bridge. You see now what I'm talking about. There you have Emilia with her eyes popping like, oh, I want to go back too. So,
So
lady, look me again in my eyes and promise me you'll open this company. Don't
I
just tell me
will
to keep me quiet, but really do it. There's a lot
no,
of people you are helping by doing this, and you're solving a problem, a big problem.
Looking for investors.
There
I
you
will.
go. Emilia, that's the spirit, girl. Yeah, man. You see,
What did she
we will
say?
find you investors. Don't you worry, but take it serious. Take it
Okay.
serious. If you take it
Okay.
serious, definitely.
Okay. No problem. I could definitely do that.
Excellent. So we stay in close contact. You have my number, you
Yeah.
have my WeChat. So I will really start hassling you now, right? No, but
Yes.
thank you so much for this because this was really a big news. And I understand what you're saying about this percentage in the bank because the money is in the country. Actually, in the country, it can never devaluate because you're going to use it in the country. It stays the same. I hear you.
Stays
If you are saving your money in a foreign country, you still have to bring it back home. And
home.
maybe they
Yes.
can do whatever they want with you. That oh, suddenly your bank, like some people, the bank has been blocked or whatever. You
Yes.
cannot, never can get that at home. Home is
Of
home.
course. Home
Yeah,
is always,
at home you're safe.
yes,
Home
home
is
is
home.
safe.
My house is my house. My land is my land.
Yes.
I hear you. I hear you. Nobody can take it from you. You're home. Good. Now
No, you
thank you so much for your insights. Is there somebody else in the on our Zoom who would like to share experiences of um, leaving China for uh, Africa or people who are planning to go? Emilia, what would you do? What is your
What
dream?
would I do? You mean
Mhm.
if I went back to Congo?
Yeah.
Okay, I had when I was in Congo, I had well maybe not in Congo. I met some Congolese in Texas
Mhm.
who deal directly with villagers that work on like those mines. I had a very close friend. He's deceased right now. But what
Mhm.
he used to do, he used to go to like one African village and he would stay there for like 3 months and pay the villagers money and they would go get the minerals for him for and he was telling me about how much money he made just by doing that. He said some of those remote villages, the villagers, you don't really pay them that much money, but by the time you finish after 3 months, you come back to the capital with a lot of gold. So I want to go and do some of those because in my state in Congo, my state in Congo is named Bandundu, and in Bandundu they have recently discovered some gold that no one knew we had. Yeah,
Mhm.
so I want to go and get my hands on some of that.
Okay, you should.
Yeah.
So there you go. Amelia has plans if anybody wants to invest in her. There you go. I would go with you, Amelia.
I will go also. It's gold we're
So,
talking about.
Yeah,
all
we're talking
right.
gold here. Gold can
You
never,
promise?
you
You
never lose. You're
promise?
always okay. Amelia, but you have to leave your contact for people. How do we reach you?
Um,
Don't worry.
just go on. Just type Daily Nuggets. You will find me in
Yes,
all the
Amelia.
social
Okay, Amelia,
medias.
tell us a little bit of Daily Nuggets. What does Daily Nuggets do?
Daily Nuggets is just a platform. Just I just make some positive videos just to keep it positive because I think this world is full of negativity. And why not lift each other up? Why do we
Yeah,
always
we
have to
should.
bring
We
each
should.
other down?
Definitely, we
Yeah.
should.
So I just do that on social media. That's what Daily Nuggets is all about. All of us learning from each other. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Wow. Emilia, bravo for that. Keep us happy, eh? Keep us stable here. Um, is there somebody else who would love to share his experience? Okay, I will. If nobody's there, then I will give my own advices again. If for me, if I had to go back, definitely like the lady just said, yeah, start saving as much possible money back home in your country. Buy land, buy houses, whatever. Even buy buildings. It doesn't necessarily have to be a house, but maybe it can be a building that later maybe you can make into a business. At least you have your business space already, or you can rent it out. Start making money with it. To be very honest with you, I don't know what the laws are abroad, but if you build a house or buy a house and you are not going to live there, but you just have it as an investment, I would advise as well, once it's built or once it's bought and you're not living there, um, rent it out through an agent. Never direct. Why? Because then it's the agent's problem to get um, the tenant out. Because some countries now they have laws where the tenant, as long as he cannot find another place, they cannot, they by law don't have to leave the house and they don't pay you rent. So all these things, always check it out before you rent it out to strangers. If you put in your family in there, I would suggest make a contract. Don't just rent it out to family or just let them live in there. Make a contract that if they break things, they should pay for it. If they after a while, you make it per year or per 5 months, whatever, make a contract with them. It's your family, but even though it's your family, keep it professional, so that once you want to go back, there is a house there for you, not that you are kicked out of your own house. That's another advice I would give. So it's always good to work with a good agent who can rent it out for you. Hello, I can't hear you. Who's this? Hello. Oh, I thought I
Yeah,
heard somebody talking.
we have Mr. Eric Masaba in the house. Eric
Okay,
Masaba.
excellent.
Yes.
Any links, man?
Sir, good evening.
Hello
Can we
there.
hear your insights on um, people who'd love to move back to Africa as people from the mainland themselves, or people who are in the diaspora or non-native Africans? What would you advise them? Or do you have plans yourself to go back? Or are you back in Africa already? And how would you prepare yourself?
Well, I'm in the UK. I haven't got any direct plans to go back to Africa yet, but it's interesting listening to your advice on renting out buildings and wherever else. I would always advise before you move to any country to get a good idea from experts on the ground, because it's very easy to form a wrong perception of a country
Mm-hmm.
from especially a holiday there or whatever
Mm-hmm.
else. It can
Yes.
be quite difficult. I've got friends who, although they're Nigerian, they grew up in Nigeria, they've been in the UK 30 years, and a few of them tried to move back to
Mm-hmm.
various parts of Lagos recently and had
Mm-hmm.
significant difficulties just, I guess, adapting to the way things are in Lagos.
Mm-hmm.
So the most important thing is be be aware, be eyes open, and don't take a view which has been formed from other people's YouTube channels
Perspective.
or whatever else. You have
Okay.
to be
Mm-hmm.
very aware of what you're getting into and what the realities on the ground are. So your advice, for example, about getting an agency to
Mm-hmm.
rent out rather than doing it yourself, I wouldn't have known that, for example. I would have thought, oh, well, I don't want to have an agent. This actually did happen to a friend of mine who moved back to Lagos recently to help his mother manage properties, and he was having a lot of problems evicting tenants who weren't paying, and things like
Yeah.
what you just said would have really helped. So I guess one has to go with eyes open and spend some time dipping one's toe, especially if just because one was born in Africa, if one hasn't lived there, it's going to be as much of a shock as moving to Nepal or anywhere else. I'd say it's very important not to be naive and not to be think of everything as through rose-tinted glasses. Of course, they're great opportunities and it'll be fantastic to be able
Yes,
to
of
help
course.
things, but everywhere has its own challenges. So I do plan to invest maybe through a proxy in the near future, but for
Mm-hmm.
now, in terms of going back, not yet.
Okay. um, can I ask, have you are you going back? Where are you from? Sorry, forgive me if you've said it before, but I didn't got it. Where from
I
Africa are you from?
Uganda originally. That's where my
Oh,
family's from.
Uganda.
Yeah,
Wow. That has a lot of great opportunities I was hearing. It's great to put up a business up there. Do you have family who's lived abroad and who went back, and how are they doing if you have them?
um, my immediate family, nobody's gone back. I don't think we
Mm-hmm.
would go back, but we do have property there, which is
Mm-hmm.
managed by some other family members. And
Mm-hmm.
I would, for example, invest via proxy to increase the value of that or provide education and training for people. That's how I would
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to help. Definitely,
Contribute. Okay.
yeah. But it would be I've only ever known the UK, so
Mm-hmm.
although I look African to Africans, I would be very quickly identified as an interloper, I think. Um,
Or a native
it's
stranger, as they call
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Native stranger. You look native, but you're a stranger. Um, Great. Okay. The other thing, because you just said you've bought land, the family
Mhm.
owns land. What do you do with the land? Because, for example, in my country too, family loves buying land, but then the land is they're all living abroad in Europe or in America, and then they don't do nothing with the land. The land is just sitting there, um, bushes, etc. Nobody does anything. They don't rent it out, they don't plant on it, nothing. What advice would you give people in this context? And everybody is allowed to give an answer on this, by the way. I would like to hear your insights on this because this is another problem that many who are investing in houses and land are facing.
I personally have no specific advice to give, but what I'm looking to do is to
Mm-hmm.
leverage some grants that one can get to build, for example, schools or businesses or both. I'd
Mm-hmm.
love to see, for example, a vineyard type of business built. There's a
Mm-hmm.
great opportunity for things like passion fruit liqueurs or other types of um, wine business, which would actually be an exportable commodity with value
Mm-hmm.
added and would also
Mm-hmm.
provide employment for people. It would also enable me to put some sort of multi-use uh, structure there, which might include a school,
Mm-hmm.
junior school and infant school,
Mm-hmm.
as well as farming houses for people who are working on the land. Obviously, there'd have to be
Mm-hmm.
some housing for people, but fundamentally,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to make the land we have productive for the population there, which are obviously parts of my extended family. But I know it's not easy, and there's always hiccups, and there's local dignitaries one has to deal with and whatever else. And I don't think I'm just going to go there and make it happen. So I'm working with people who live there. We've got an uncle who maintains things for us.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I'd invest through him. I'd be interested to hear what other people have done because it can be very difficult being an absentee landlord as such.
Okay. Is there somebody else who has another solution or who's dealing with the same challenges? Hello. Okay, I don't hear other people bringing. Okay, I will give in my own advice in this as well. I remember a few months ago, I met a friend from, where was he from again? I think from Nigeria. And he was telling me how much land he has. And he was really showing this land. And he was like, yeah, but we're not doing anything with it. There's nothing there. And I was advising him, and he was really listening and taking it in and saying that he was really going to take note and do this, which was, if you live in China, I can only talk for China since I'm in China and there's huge opportunity here and everything is available, to start buying seeds, invest in seeds and ship them back home. You see, for family, they cannot eat the seeds. You see, they can plant it knowing that something will happen with it. I'm only talking about Nigeria because it's a rain season and you name it, so it will survive. As well, what you're helping family with is they're farming actually, but not necessarily. I wouldn't do it in too much labor intensive farming, but for example, fruit trees, all the exotic fruits that are here in the tropical sites of China, export them to your country, especially if they're not there. Bring in something new. Um, Fruits that are easy to be planted that don't need too much maintenance. I talking really about big fruit trees that by the time you go back, there is a big fruit tree waiting for you. Nothing will happen to it. People will steal the fruit while it's there, it's growing. It's not a problem. But when you come back, you have maybe already a nice fruit yard where you can start um, making a juice factory from. The family themselves will protect it. You know why? Because they will either eat the fruit, they will not easily let people go and steal it. They might be selling it, but it's something that is not easily to just squander. It's something that can be bring money back on the
Very
land.
interesting.
And the other thing why I said fruit, because I know that big trees, on the big trees, there is no grass growing. So it makes it easier. The bigger the trees, the easier. I've been to one of these yards in Hainan, where you see they have lots of mango trees, whole yards of mango trees or palm trees or whatever. And it's interesting to see that under these trees, there is no grass. So something like this, at least let it work for you. Don't let it sit there doing nothing.
Mm,
Anybody else, other advices? And of the house, I told you already, make sure that you read up on uh, house rental laws in your country. What are the laws? Very important to know the law so that in case a tenant is being difficult, what should you do? and as well find out uh, good companies, legit companies that can help you to rent out your house for you, and make sure that the contracts you sign with them is in such a way that they are responsible for getting the tenant out of there and not you. Because if you sign it, it means the tenant can just stay there. But if it's an agent, that's a different story. The agent is not the owner, you see. Mhm. But again, I think we have a lawyer in the house, right? Is Mrs. Let me see if she's still there. I just saw her earlier on. Um, no, she's not.
You mean
I see she already
Yeah,
Justina?
left.
yeah.
You mean
Initially, we
Justina,
had
yeah,
Justina?
where's Justina?
she
Yeah,
left. She left.
yeah,
She left
Justina
already?
left. She had another meeting. Yeah.
Okay, because you see, people like Justina, for example, we have a lawyer in the house. She could have told you that, hey, um, these and these are the things you have to take care of, watch this and check out this, or even ask for her consultation. Hire such a lawyer. Don't be skimpy on that, because trust me, the money that you can lose or the troubles you can get into are so huge and horrible that it's not worth it to be skimpy on that, to be cheap on that. Just pay a good lawyer who can tell you what to do, can make a contract for you that you can sign with an agent. It's better to know as to be crying. That's my advice in this one. Anybody else would like to share a story with us, their own experiences or things that they think people should really plan before going back to Africa? As we already heard, what I got out of this meeting is one, make sure you invest before you go. Make sure you have a cushion waiting for you by investing either in bonds, if your country has bonds, or check at least online what can be invested in my country, that can make it. Ask for reputable consultant. What is there available for people who are living abroad? How? Don't go in it blindfolded. I don't suggest you do that. The other thing I would say is, if you're building a house, make sure that you know, okay, please show me a rendering of the house, houses that already been built, photos, so that you see that you build what you are getting. Go on Google. You have Google, what is it? Google Maps, where you can really see the place. Go on Google, find the place. Um, then you have as well in real life, huh? Real life, Google Maps. Then as well, what I would definitely suggest is, um, if you see that certain things are not there, of course, fill your container with tiles, whatever, how you want it um, designed. Um, Fill your container from China, buy your things, and slowly fill up the container, put it in a warehouse. And by the time you're ready, or the house is ready to be finished by, as the lady just before said, by a reputable contractor, you send the container out and he finishes the house for you. Of course, again, with a contract that says that if you lose any of my stuff, or I get something else, that, or things are broken or not done well, that he's the one who will be paying for it, and that you won't pay until, make a good contract. Again, consult with a good lawyer. The other thing I would say, yeah, what I got out of this meeting is, if you go with children,
Hello, good
be
afternoon.
sure. Oh, are you there with us now? Hello.
Hello, my name is Busayo Emmanuel.
Hi, Mr. Emmanuel. Very happy to hear you. What
My
can you
good
bring?
friend, my good
Yes.
friend Kola Wole, invited me. We finished the university together about 30 years ago, and I'm appearing or attending for the first time.
Oh, happy to have you here, sir. Where are you right now? Are you in China, or are you on the mainland or somewhere
No, I live
else?
in Italy.
Oh, you live in Italy. Wow. Are you
Yes.
planning to go back to your homeland, or is there any advice you could give us for people
Definitely,
who?
definitely. To start with, let me just acknowledge the fact that I've really
Mhm,
gained so much today. I've gained, especially the first lady that spoke when I joined, and I think most of the things she shared were
mhm,
very, very insightful. And I think I've done almost quite number of things back at home in Africa.
great.
I come from Nigeria and I believe so much in Africa. Despite all the challenges I've faced in investing in Nigeria,
Mhm,
I've always continued to invest. But some of the things I want to just share briefly with some
mhm,
of us who live in the diaspora, and we have the mindset of relocating to Africa one day,
mhm,
is to look at just investment, like the one of the speakers rightly said.
mhm,
But there are so many type of investments you can always put your money into in Nigeria. For instance, I have a couple of investments in Europe, in United Kingdom, blue chip, where you put the money into. Most of the insurance companies, they do that in Nigeria. For instance, the Zenith Bank in Nigeria, they have a subsidiary they call Zenith Prudential Assurance. They are into insurance, and basically what they do is that they are into investment as well. So from my account in the bank, on a monthly basis, a number of, some amount of money will be deducted and put in the investment for me. I think the contract is for 5 years. And
okay.
every 5 years, I have a lot of money. I can roll it back. But the beauty of it is this: if at any time you are looking at, taking money from the bank to support your business, for
Mhm,
instance, if you have, let's say, about maybe 5 million in your portfolio in the investment, you may
mhm,
get as much as 50 million naira from the bank. And that can even be
okay.
your collateral together with other collateral you have. Because the bank
Mhm,
is trying to look at your consistency in paying this, your monthly due for your investment. And if you do that over a long period of time, you will have established a very good relationship with the bank. And at any
mhm,
point in time, even the bank will be pursuing you to come and take money because they have seen that you can be dependent upon. So I have a
mhm,
couple of investments actually over the years. I've done that in Europe. I have with F&O in United Kingdom. It's a trust company where I pay
mhm,
monthly about £100, taken from my account, and it is put in the investment. In the past 10 years, the money has grown so much that anytime, any day, you can always get anything to do back at home. I've not
Wait, sorry.
really.
Can I ask a quick question? When you
Yes,
say you can do something at home, do you mean that you can borrow money from the bank? Am I understanding it well?
yes, in the case of Nigeria,
Okay.
exactly, exactly.
Okay.
There's always a bureaucracy when when it comes to borrowing money in banks in Nigeria. I don't know about any part of the world, and I think it applies to other parts of the world. But most of the
Okay.
time, when you have a good relationship that the bank can verify,
Mhm,
you can always, be a target. In fact, bank can always be pursuing you to come and take money. And the only way you can establish this is either you have a business, you are registered, and you are passing the business through the bank. But just for so many people they live in diaspora and you are not yet operating in your country or in Nigeria, and you want to, you have a plan that in the future you want to go back, do business, you can start today by, opening an account with the bank, especially the
mhm,
one that have the capacity, and you can now have an investment, done with the subsidiary of the bank. In which case, you are investing, like an investment in the bank, but at the same
mhm,
time, you are having a monthly saving. And over the time, they take the money from your savings or current account, they put it in the investment. If you do that over the period of 5 years and you are consistent and you are
mhm,
paying your monthly due, of course, it's money, you're saving it. But by the time you want to approach the bank for loan, in most cases, bank will always oblige because they can see that you have been consistent, even in putting money aside when you have not taken any money from the bank. So that's one of the ways that those who live in the diaspora and you envisage that in the nearest future you want to go back home, you can always just open this investment account, and I think they have it in almost all the countries of the world, so that you can prepare the ground for the time that you'll be launching that wonderful business that you have in mind. Apart from that, I've done some other businesses like importing charcoal to Italy. I bring the charcoal from Nigeria. I think several times I've been invited to bring charcoal to China, but maybe because I've not gotten, I don't know the market very well, but I bring charcoal from Nigeria to Italy, and relatively there's a good profit on it. And for most people, I think even China, I've learned that in China they need more charcoal, the one they use for the barbecue, in the one they sell in the grocery that people can buy in a pack and use to do their barbecue. But Nigeria
Okay.
has, yes, yes, and Nigeria has a lot of that opportunity, because and charcoal is not consumable. The good thing about charcoal is that if it takes even a year for your charcoal to move for some reasons, you still have your products. But if you have consumables like beans, like other consumables, they can always have challenges of NAFDAC registration. And not only that, some of the products can even be destroyed by some other countries like Europe, where they have a lot of regulation on the consumables. But charcoal is a wonderful product that anybody can invest into. You go to Africa, they will get it for you, bring it to the ports, and you bring it to maybe China or Europe, and you get your money back without any hassle. So that's an area that one can go into as well. Apart from that, I've done some other businesses, which includes, taking products to Africa as well. Of course, we have a lot of regulation in Nigeria now. I used to send shoes and the rest in container to Nigeria, but now because of regulation to protect the home markets, one has to stop. So that's why these days somebody can even replicate the business in Africa. For instance, look at the shoe market in Nigeria. A lot of people need shoe. They need shoe. Almost everybody needs a shoe, whether you are poor, whether you are rich. And we have a lot of factories in China, in Europe, where they produce wonderful shoes. So you can go into, just have basic training, maybe 6-month training on how to produce the shoe. And you can always go back to Africa, where we have enough of leather and all the raw materials, and you get the good machine, produce the shoe for the market. I can tell you that Nigeria, with a population of about 200 million, the market for shoe is enormous. It's enormous. You can't always, fill the space, because that's why they have to import from China, import from Italy, import from Spain, and the rest. But if you can just, and you don't need a big space for you to,
can you give
start.
Sorry, you were living in Italy, am I right?
Yes, I live in Italy.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Because I always come with my advice.
Please go ahead.
You live in Italy. You're saying something about shoes and leather here. And yes, it's true. There's a big market. Now, is it possible to interest these Italian factories who are making shoes to start a branch in Nigeria?
Fantastic.
It's a big market, right?
It's possible.
Because the exportation right now is not viable anymore, especially with COVID. You see what can happen. So if it's already, especially with the new regulations that are coming for Africa, the open market where they don't have to pay tax, so all the extras, why is it possible that you start making them warm to go and invest in Nigeria or set up a branch and find Nigerians themselves who would like to join in? Maybe you're not going home, but you're creating a market or opportunity for Nigerians back home.
You see, that's a very good question, because the reason is this. The population of Italy is about 1/3 of Nigeria. It's about 71, 72 million people. And Nigeria is about, 200 million. So when you look at
a young nation, don't forget, we have to say
estimated.
Nation, so with more young people as Italy, because Italy, I think, from that more than 50% is, above 60 or something.
You're correct. Absolutely.
Population. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So when you look at the market for shoe, for instance, in
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, uh, it's enormous. And most of the Italian companies, they need partnership with, outside of the continent for their product. Because if you go to Spain, there are, shoe factories in Spain, in Holland, in most of the countries. So most of the time, the African destination is always a good destination for their, products. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if you want to partner with, Italian companies, to produce in Nigeria, that is possible. The challenge we have in most cases, as one of the speaker pointed out, is good representation back at home in Africa. For instance, I live in Italy. I work
Mm-hmm.
in Italy. I am not
Mm-hmm.
ready to leave my job. I went to Nigeria in May. I came back. I'm still working
Mm-hmm.
because I know I can hand more from my career and make, something. But if I have those who are capable, who can run the business, there is even a
Mm-hmm.
possibility that I can invest into that. But like most of the speakers have pointed out today, I've invested enormously in Africa, especially in Nigeria, and sometimes that oversight function has been the problem. When you are not
Mm-hmm.
at home, your business sometimes may suffer. Not necessarily because even those at home are wicked. There are forces that work against business in Africa that even if you are there, you can face those challenges. But as a good businessman, when you're at home,
What
you
kind
can
of
know how to
challenges are you
navigate.
talking about? Sorry, what kind of challenges are you talking about?
Oh, we have so many challenges. Like somebody said today, she was talking about being swindled. Now, the swindling is a major setback to business in Nigeria. Okay, so you may be there, even as a resident in Nigeria, as a businessman, you are not going to go out to do all the things by yourself. You have to give money to someone to do this for you. Sometimes you pay
Mm-hmm.
into the accounts. But despite all these regulations, you can still have people taking money and not delivering as promised, or not even giving you the quality that you want. That's number one. Then running the
Mm-hmm.
business for you can be very challenging because in most cases, you have the idea, you have the concept, and you know how your business can run. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't have people that have the same, you know, capability running the business for you, it may be challenging. After all, business is not just like working for someone. You need to have strategies, you need to have a lot of knowledge, relentlessness, courage, and all the rest. So if you're not living in the country, establishing, a factory, a factory for that matter can be very challenging. You need to be residing there, maybe for a period of a year or two to kickstart the business, to get through the gestation period and to begin to make profit. So that's the
Okay.
challenge I have personally. But if you
Okay.
have,
Can I ask another question because I hear a problem and then I'm looking for solutions, right?
go
Okay.
ahead.
What I've seen here in China,
Okay,
if you look
this
at
guy
back
is
in the
talking very
day,
big.
you had foreign companies, yes, who are investing in this country. But what is very interesting is that always the head of the country, of the company, is always a foreigner. It's never a local.
Okay.
So if you can hire maybe somebody who looks African or even a foreigner, a white person, doesn't matter, who is the one running it, who gets a salary to make it
Hello?
happen, because as a foreigner he cannot really swindle you with the locals. Nobody trusts each other, you see. The local doesn't trust them, but they don't trust
Hello?
the local either. So but they will be your eye, they will be there for you. And with that, you can as well start with schools to train them before
Good.
you even start such a factory, so they get a special training. You start with youngster, because I mean Nigeria has a big young population, so you can start with
Yes.
training them first before even starting your factory.
You're
And the
correct.
ones that are trained, they live near the factory, so you have to, if you're going to do this, you really have to make some changes for it to be able to happen. If the
Okay.
government is not going to help you with security, because you're talking about swindling, um, don't think that in China it wasn't there. Oh my God, Jesus. The swindling, and Michael, I know sure you can talk about it. The swindling here was big as well. But you see, the people still were making their own ways of protecting their goods. It's either with cameras, whatever, within their factory, their own bubble. They made sure that it's not affected by whatever is outside the bubble. I think, is this possible? Can this be done? That's my only question here.
That's a very good question. In China, like in
Mhm.
Europe, there is consequence for every misbehavior.
Yeah.
So if I run
In
my
in
Yeah.
Af-
business in
in Africa as well. In Africa as well. Trust me in this one.
no, when I
Um.
say consequence, I'm talking about
Okay.
functional consequence.
Okay.
Functional, relatively. I mean, in Europe, I know about in Europe. You
Hmm.
have a factory, you employ maybe foreigners, you cheat them. The law, when the law catches you, you are going to go to jail.
Yeah.
So that's one I know. The Chinese in Nigeria, they can come to Nigeria, step on some toes, hire laborers, and they don't pay, normal wages. Sometimes they get away with it, but even in their country, they may not likely get away with it. Okay, so what I'm talking about is that when you have a functional law and you employ people to manage your business, when something goes wrong and it can be traced to their negligence or fraud, they can go to jail. And that is a motivation for most people to stay away from swindling. But we have an environment, unfortunately, that sometimes people can get away with criminal activities, and that is affecting business a lot. But
Um.
like we have rightly agreed, there are businesses you can do that you have little chances of being, losing your money. Okay. And that's why somebody suggested a school. A school is good because, you can get your money when they are starting the new session. But there are some businesses that you need a lot of monitoring.
Yeah.
And when the monitoring is not available, sometimes as an investor, you can lose your money. I'm talking from experience
Hmm.
because I have a lot of people that have lost money in businesses run by families, run by friends. But out of all this, there are still what you can do. That was why I suggested the idea of having an investment with a company that they take the money from your accounts and you are saving the money for the rainy day. And by the time you are now ready to go home to start the business, then you can have something that you can fall back on. And not only that, you can equally have a good relationship with the bank who must have known you for about 5 years of being consistent with your savings. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Mm, I will tell you one thing. I'm living here 20 years, so I've seen China being like Nigeria is now 20 years ago.
You're correct.
China was okay. Michael, you're with me, right? Good. China is now, they were exactly like that. Swindling, oh God, good Lord. I mean, if I tell you the things we've been
It's
through,
massive.
it was terrible, more than Nigeria. I think Nigeria has more law as they had back then. Plus, there was something that was more terrible. That one, if you don't have a local partner, you cannot do any business there. So they cheat you left, right, and center.
Okay.
In Nigeria, you don't have that. You see what I mean?
Yes,
So
correct.
you can start something. And the law you're talking, there is no law. Excuse me. You have farm. It's only now that they are actually, um, some of the laws are very new in China. They were not there. The law was very gray. You can easily, go the other way around,
Okay.
if you know what I mean. So we all look at China now. But China was somewhere and they grew and became here and they came where they are now. They didn't come here like by accident and whoa, everything. No, it gradually went there. It's people believing that they can get somewhere. Okay, the only no, I think Nigeria has it well. There are places where there's extreme poverty, and when you are in this extreme poverty, whatever comes in is welcome. I don't know about Nigeria. I didn't test the dead grounds, but I know of, for example, Congo. Amelia knows the story. I told her this story before, where I went to Congo and they wanted to build a school. These people, they knew what they wanted and they're eager to work with you. And because this is what they want, they start working as a team and protecting it as well. So I would say have more belief because the way I hear you and from what I've been through, Michael, you too, I know that Nigeria is in a far better state, has a much more fertile ground to start doing business. It's much more
Absolutely.
fertile.
Absolutely.
Michael, you know what we have been through.
I think Michael should just give his opinion because I have information. I just came from Nigeria and I have businesses in Nigeria, but I think Michael can give his own view as well.
Mhm. No, but you know why I'm telling you this, sir? Because I see you are like one of the pillars that we need. We need pillars. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm search. Somebody's calling in the background. Can you please mute your telephone?
Also, we are
The
doing
thing
like
is, I'm looking for pillars in the society
and
who
also we are
people
doing
can.
like charity
Hello,
for
hello, darling. Whoever has his microphone on and is on the telephone, can you please mute it? Michael or somebody else in the background, can you check who it is?
You can go ahead. I think the gentleman has left.
Okay, good. Excellent. Now, I'm actually looking for pillars in our society who can um, build this investment group. And from there, because if I look at this country, how they started, it was the diaspora that invested. Many people say, oh, it was the foreigners. Hello. Yes, if you are born in as a Chinese, born in America or wherever in the world, and you reinvest in your country, like what this lady was saying just then, that all her money was going back home because she knows there it's safe, right? Same the Chinese people were doing here. They built their businesses, whatever they knew. The government even helped them when they saw how good it was going, how much trust there was. They started even helping them because it was the people forcing the government to change. People can force a government to change. One, if the government sees that there's so much investment flying in, they want a bit of it, of course. So what will they do? They will make better roads so that more people can come in to invest, or they will make better infrastructure so that more people can, do more business. This is what happened here. The people basically, it was like a big boom of people investing and doing business. Hello? Hello? Can you please mute your mic?
Yeah.
Okay, but these people were, they really shocked their government, and the government saw that if they don't start moving with this wave, they will lose out. This is how it happened in China. So please have hope for your country, because your country is a much more fertile ground, much further as what Michael and I have met when we came here. Nigeria has passed a lot of stages where they were. So you are actually, um, if you start attracting more foreigners to go there, the government will see that, oh, there's so many of them here. We have to do something, otherwise they will leave. You can force your government in doing something. But by staying away, why would they do something if there's nothing to do? What should we do it for? I'm just can tell you what this country's been through and how they've made it. And don't be scared to invest in the youth. When I say invest in the youth, I meant like schooling them. Yeah, some will leave, but some will really stay with you. And don't be greedy. Do it in such a way that they think that that company is theirs. Let them invest in the company. Keep some of their salary for the company. You know that, okay, 10% of your salary you will never get, because, or not never get, but it's invested in the company automatically for you. They see the company grow, their 10% grows. Something like that. Make them feel as if they're a family, that it's theirs. If you do that, if you make them feel that this is their company, they will be more inclined to protect it because it's theirs, right? I don't want it to be destroyed. Otherwise, I'll lose my 10% or whatever. Make packages for them. Again, try to copy as much as you can from a foreign country. I've seen many times when I hear from people that, yeah, but in the West you have, and you get this and you get this and you get that. But when we go and invest in our countries, we don't want people to actually, we want to give them cheap. So we don't want to give them anything. We want to make a lot of profit, but the people must suffer. Don't do that. Let them be like a family of your company. I've seen it many times here in China that when you go to a factory, yeah, you have the Laoban, but the Laoban eat with all the staff. They don't eat separate. They all eat together on one table. We're one. We all have to work hard because if this company goes down, we actually all lose. Not only the Laoban lose, not only, sorry, Laoban means boss, not only the boss loses, but as well the workers. So I think maybe this is a good advice for if you're going back to Africa, not to think, oh, they're going to swindle me. No. How can I stop them from swindling me? By making them owners themselves. How? By making them invest. How? By just, how you call it? How can you say this in good English? By taking some of their money and investing it in the company for them. A share. Each worker automatically gets a share or 10, whatever, one share after 1 year. He gets so many shares. So of course you're going to work for that. Make all these things, make it interesting for them, because don't forget as well, why can you? Because you have a young population. 20 years ago, this was China. Sorry, I hope I didn't talk too much, but you as a pillar, I'm so hoping that you will think about what I've said and invest more.
I think I agree with you.
Hello?
I think I agree with you absolutely.
Wait, I cannot hear. I don't know why. It's
Can you hear
why
me?
cannot hello? I
Can
think
you hear
your
me?
mic is not on or something.
Yeah, we can
He's
hear you.
saying,
Okay, now
hear
I
you
can
loud
hear
and
you. Yeah, I
clear.
can hear you again. I think I
yeah.
We
put
can hear you
my
loud and clear.
speaker. Mm-hmm.
So I said I agree with you.
Thank you. I'm so happy for that. And I hope that you bring some Italian shoes makers to Nigeria with the concept that I've just told you. They're going to be okay. Very okay. Even if they give workers, anybody who works there who sells shoes can get even a commission. You make them become part of the company, not just a worker. Know your own family. It's a bit of a culture, a change of culture, but it can work. It can happen. We, the diaspora, we can make it happen. I hear that Maria Carbo is in the house with us. Hello.
Don't forget that she is made in China now.
Yeah. Maria, made in China. Tell us a
Yes,
bit more.
yes. How are you guys? I'm here. I have to support. I always
You
support you
have to
guys.
support, darling. You have to
Yeah, yeah,
support.
yeah,
Now, I
yeah.
want to know from you, right? If somebody would like to, because I know you're investing as well in your own country in Sierra Leone, what can you advise people who would like to invest back in their country?
In their
Who are in
country, what they
China?
should invest in their country.
Yeah.
First,
How?
you should not forget your country,
Mhm.
where you come from. You should not forget them. You should be communicating with the people, your community, your area, your family,
Yes.
your friends. That's even that communication alone is one. Then also the school she come from or the university.
Yeah.
When you have this link with them, if you want to do any business, it's easy. But not when you want to send the stuff to them, then you call them, I want to do this business. They can cheat you because they know when you need them, that's why you contact them. But if you keep that relationship with them first, so when it's time for the business, even they want to cheat you, they will know how to cheat you. They will not cheat you 90%. They will do it 15 or 20%. Because no place that is honest, they must cheat, but they will not cheat you too much.
So if I got you well, you mean build a relationship where people are more inclined not to cheat you, but work with you instead of cheating you.
Yeah, let the people know you first. You should not just go to start business with them. Make sure you keep communicate with your people in your country, your area, your community. Keep that relationship with them. Be calling, be checking, or if you see small thing like those bags, those just send it to your school. So I donate this one bag for the teacher at the end of the just keep that goodness between. Just like now, I am not in this meeting, but you send the Zoom, I am around to support you guys. I just keep that link with me and everyone, or you guys keep the link with anyone. So if anything I want to do, just because of this relationship I keep, you will have the heart to help me. 60%, even you will need some commission or money, but you said, no, Maria is a person who is a mixer.
Yes. Okay. We got you there.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And you yourself, what have you invested in your country? Because just then there was somebody who's already back in Nigeria, and she said she invested in land. What would you say to people who are listening?
Now, for me, I don't need to say what I invest in my country. First is love and honesty, and going back to my country because I'm a poor girl. So I have to tell them that don't matter even you are poor or rich, just continue with your dreams, and also don't forget where you come from. Don't ignore people because you already arrived in that level. They've not yet arrived there. Encourage everybody. Everybody is your friend. Everybody is your family, because maybe those people you think is your friend, they are the one that's going to protect you tomorrow. Those who you think they are your family, they are the one that's going to let you down. So you should make everybody your family. So that is the most important thing I invest in my country, in Sierra Leone. I make sure people to know that I am a Sierra Leonean. I'm not just a celebrity. I'm not just this kind. No, I'm a person from nothing to somebody and to all of them. I am all of them. I am not celebrity Maria to live in a celebrity life. No, I am with the market women. I'm with the girls in the streets. I'm in the people who pray in the church, in the mosques. I'm a friend of everyone. That is the most things I invest there. So when I'm going there with something to do, even somebody want to hurt me, somebody will say, no, she's our daughter, she's our friend, she's our sister. That's the most important thing. You should first invest in your country before you think, even if you are buying land, like what you said, somebody buy land, somebody buy house, which I've not done yet in my country. But all those things, you do it, people will cheat you, but people will not cheat you because you have this first thing I already did in my country, invest on people to know you. Yes, just like in Beijing now. When we are in Beijing, if I have anything, I call off all of you. You guys will come. Like yes, if you have something now, why you see I joined this? Because I know you guys. If I don't know you guys, I will join. So this make, even it's just two of you. If I join now, it's three. It was 20 or 30. If one person join, is addition. So means we need each other. With each other is big investment. Then when we want to do something, ideas are coming, blessing are coming. And if I want to cheat you, or you want to cheat me, it will be just 5 or 10%, not too much cheating. Because everywhere they have cheat. Nobody can say they don't cheat in the world.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Rhea, if
Yes,
I may
mom.
say something, when it comes to cheating, even your own family can cheat you.
Yes, it's what I'm saying. That's why I
told.
said we should
To
be
be very
family.
honest,
Yes, we
it's most
should,
of the times the
everybody.
family that teach you. To be very honest, that's all the stories I'm hearing. That's why I'm encouraging this lady in Nigeria to start a company, because I hear this too much, that family is letting down. Of course, not all family like her, she was lucky, but most of the times people get cheated by family because, of course, who will you go to? Where will you run to? First to your family, before you start doing anything, right? It's your blood, but it's them. I mean, like somebody said before, everybody is going through a tough time, and you see this bunch of money coming. First thing you will think is, oh my God, I can finally help myself to do A, B, C, D. What they don't think about is, and I think, Maria, you said something interesting there, because I would say it's maybe as well good to invest in your family by start training them in make your money work for you. Let's not eat money. Let's make money work for us. That's my advice coming from what you were just saying. It's really important. And friends, family, but again, why should we always have to rely on people? Most of the times, friends and family, they don't even know what they're doing. They're not educated to do all the things we want to do. But if you really hire, we must not be skimpy and try to invest in a good professional. that has a reputable reputation, like yeah, somebody from Nigeria was just saying it, the lady. That's why, again, I tell you, lady, if you're still there, you better start this company. Um, because if you hire somebody um, who has competence, it can work. Your business will grow. It will happen. But if you just hire family who doesn't know what they're doing themselves, what are you doing? You actually, as I just said before, you're just putting water in a bottle full of holes. When you come back home, you'll find the empty bottle. So just invest in the right things, um, and don't be scared to invest a little more, or to pay that little more, because that little more can make sure that you don't cry. Yeah, maybe you don't have to pay too much for family, but is it worth it that you don't pay them that much and they don't do nothing? Is it worth it? Or is it more worth it that you pay this little extra? Yeah, you have to tie your stomach a little bit because it's expensive, but at least you know you are going somewhere. You're going to grow. Your tree is going to grow. Whatever you started, it's going to grow. Don't go and see with people who don't know what they're doing. It's basically throwing money away. That's the advice I can give in this one. Anybody else would like to share their story with us? Maria, by the way, thank you. Big hugs. Are you back?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm here. Yes, I'm
Good.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I want to advise people. What Maria just said. Indeed, invest um, in your people back home from the university. If they have a company, or if they have um, a certain degree and profession where they can help you with the business that you're going to do, yes, hire them. Make, again, there I come again with this contract with a good lawyer. Make a contract with them, let them sign it, and don't be skimpy. Don't let it be a normal contract. No, really let it be done by a notary, that it is registered, everything done according to law, so that if something goes wrong, there's always a contract there that can help you out. Without the contract, don't do anything. Again, don't do any cheap things. Yes, it will cost you a little bit at the beginning, but trust me, it's like growing a tree in, I mean, barren land. It will never grow. But grow a tree in fertile land and give it water, give it fertilizer, it will grow. Fertilizer costs money, yeah, and giving it water, it costs again, and pesticide, and you name it. But the tree will grow strong. It will bear fruits. You will make it. But if you go skimpy with family and friends who are not qualified to grow your business, nothing will go for you. Is there anybody else who'd like to share their experience with us?
Yeah, my sister Ria. In
Yes.
fact, Malia has really, I mean, said it all. You know,
Yes.
passion to be a channel of blessing to people. You know,
Yes.
not considering the gain that comes with it is the key. You know,
Yes.
they say you say knowing what to do is how of getting what you want. When you show
Yes.
love to people, when you invest in people, you can
Yes.
never go wrong. You can never go wrong. You know, another thing is when people see that you are sincere with the way you are dealing with them, you are treating them.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely,
Yes.
they want to protect whatever investment you are having. You know, invest in people. Although investing in people doesn't mean that you shouldn't invest in yourself too. I like personally I invested in all these forex trading company, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and these things are working. There's one they call Omega Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Omega Pro is similar to what Dr. Yewande mentioned in our
Mm-hmm.
presentation during our presentation. This
Mm-hmm.
Omega Pro gives you 300% of your investment
Mm-hmm.
at every 14 to 16 months. Like, for instance, I started with $500, and now we are talking about, more than 5,000. It's real. All these things are real, but not many people want to endure. It's
Yes,
like
it's true.
it's
It's
like
true.
fixing your money. People are impatient.
Yes.
Impatient. You can, and when you want to invest in real estate, maybe land and all that, do your due diligence. Don't
Yes.
be sentimental about it. Don't say somebody asked me to invest in a land because it's cheap. You put your money
Ah,
there. Do your
yeah.
due diligence,
Yes.
or else you will get scammed. You will get scammed.
You are
Do you know, Ria? Do
being
you know that many people
scammed.
fall into trap?
Yeah.
Many people fall into trap at home because
Yes.
of their greediness.
Yes.
Greediness. Some people will just connect with you, do this, put this 100, you get this without doing your due diligence. You will be scammed. It is those people that will now come round to be saying, Africa is bad, crying when the head is already caught. Campaign after election. You need to have some people you can trust back home. Somebody who will be giving you information. We all have people. The people who are real and the people who are not real. That's why I subscribe to what Maria Kagbo said, that be connected with your people back home. Be connected.
Yes.
You understand? When you have
It's
people,
a good
you have
investment, like she said. It's a very good investment.
When you
Definitely.
have people, you have it all. They are the ones that will be supporting you through, in every way.
And they will lead you as well to the right people. If they cannot do it, they will lead you. And they will check for you. Even if they are not doing the work, they will keep checking from, hey, I saw something that happening, Maria. Can you check? Because I don't see them doing, you will have like policemen. They become your policeman. They become your security. But if you're being mean and stuff, they will just look and think, let them cheat her, no problem. So that's why it's important to invest in them.
Yeah, we also have Mrs. Mrs. She has left. She has left. Okay, we have Rose Seal. Maybe she might want to contribute one or two things.
Sorry,
Rose?
who is this?
Rose.
Rose? Mrs. Rose, are you there? Can you share some of your experiences and advice with us, really?
Oh.
Hello?
Okay, then we also have Mrs. FZ Edevo. Mrs. FZ Edevo.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Hello,
you're welcome on
please
board.
share with us.
Thank you. I'm Hebzi Adebukola Edevo. I'm in Nigeria. I've always been in Nigeria, though I visit other nations.
Okay.
What I can, like today, it's my first time actually, and I've learned so much. I'm so happy with myself that I tuned in this time around. I just wanted to check what exactly is going on there, and I've learned a lot. And I can identify with a lot of things that has been said by Michael, by Busayo, and every other person. There is nowhere in the world where people don't want to swindle and cut corners. Yeah, but if you are on ground or you have measures on ground to make sure those things don't happen, then you can be fine in your business. Like now I'm into hospitality, and people just want to, there's a lot of privileges, they just want to pick this and that out of the hotel. And, but when you have your CCTV cameras here and there, and you do due diligence with your security outfit, things will be fine. You will be, on top of the game, and, with land buying, properties buying, and all that as well. Yeah. Sometimes, of course, it is the family that is at home that you want to entrust your trust into. You want to entrust your money to their hands because they are family. If you have not been a good member of the family, don't expect them to be good back to you when you need them. You know, they will just see you as, oh yeah, he has gone abroad. He has maybe a money tree at his backyard. He's making a lot of money. So let's take as much as we want to that we can get, which is not the case. You know, but if you have been with them, you know, they know who you are. They know the kind of a heart you have towards them. They know that you have them at the back of your minds. You are careful for them. You are, you know, you're taking care of them even while you were with them. When you entrust your funds into your hands, they will make sure that they watch out for you too, and make sure they don't disappoint you. That's one other thing that I want to chip in. And of course, it is good to get a good lawyer, like you have said, to oversee whatever you have, even with family, because you know, even with family, you know, it's always a very, very good idea, so that they know that somebody else is watching their back, somebody else is interested in what is going on over there, and not just connive with themselves to take away or do away with whatever that you have entrusted into their hands. And I think that's about all I want to talk about, you know. And
because
I'm grateful.
as you really said it, a lawyer is actually helping you, not your family. And the contract makes as well sure that you don't get into family conflict. That's another thing I wanted to share. Because what's the use that later you're fighting with your family because they didn't do something, and there's disruption because of no contract. But if there's a contract, they know, wow, if I do wrong, whoa, I will go to jail, or I have to pay. I will lose my house. So they will take it more serious. So you're not only helping yourself, but as well your family to do a better job at it. Forcing, actually, in a way.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and really thank you so much for your in the you said just now in the hospitality business.
Yes, I am.
You were saying something as well about that you have the security cameras. I remember I just told the people that it's important to have your own security in your own bubble, like your security cameras. Whatever happens, you can be your own police. You don't need the government or what to help you with that. I don't know. Have you as well made the your employees somehow into family, so that they don't steal or are more inclined to work harder or with more passion towards your company?
Yeah, that was the first thing we did, you know, immediately, or let me say during the training of bringing in people, you know, because as much as possible, you want to help the people in your area, in the populace. You want to bring
in
them
your community.
in your community, because if you don't, you're going to be seen as a bad person to start with.
Yes.
That, okay, you have erected a company somewhere and you are not employing people in the locality, or especially if you have to go and be buying your stuff from far away, you're not patronizing the locals, you know.
Yes.
It already gives you a defeated standpoint. So while you are bringing them in, you
Hello, are you still with us?
I think
you
we
know
lost her.
Yeah. No,
We
no, no.
lost her.
Is that again? Hello?
Hello, I'm still here.
Okay, thank you.
I
Yes.
said they coming in the first place, they've got to sign and fill the guarantors form. Whereas with which you're going to know, okay, this is the person that is standing in for you in case if something goes wrong. And it has to be somebody that is well known in the society, you know, like a chief, like, you know, somebody that is well known in the society. So they are also afraid that they are like a needle that has string on. So if anything happens, you can pull on the string to pull them out. So there is no hiding place. And then with the security outfit, apart from having your CCTV cameras, you know, there has to be trainings all the time among the members of staff, among the security. Of course, let everybody know we are family, we are one. We are in business together. If anything goes wrong, then we are going to close down, and that means there's no job for you. Like my accountant tells them, said, if one person is laid off, all of us
Mm-hmm.
can contribute money to take care of that person that is laid off. But if all
Mm-hmm.
of us are laid, then he that is causing the trouble cannot feed all of us. So we
That's
need to
true.
fish out bad heads, the bad eggs among us,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that we we punish them enough, not actually laying them off now, but punish them enough to be a deterrent to others that, okay, if you do this, this is what is going to happen. So why do you want to do it? And, we take care of
Yeah.
everybody so well,
Yeah.
take care of everybody so well. The welfare package is very, very beautiful. So it
Wow.
makes it
Okay.
difficult for them to even want to hurt the company.
Wow. Yes, that's the spirit. I think there was a gentleman from Italy, right? You see here, you are in Nigeria right now, right?
Yes, I'm in
Um,
Nigeria.
Excellent, because now interesting questions for you. Do you think it is a healthy climate there to do business right now? What do you advise people who want to invest or start a business or come back home to start a business there?
Like I said, um, my tribe is Yoruba. You always say possibility see. There is
Hmm.
nowhere something like this or the other is not happening. It's all over the
Okay.
world. But over here in
Okay.
Nigeria right now, we have a lot of expatriates coming in,
Okay.
promoting
When
the
you say
business.
expatriates, do you mean Nigerians coming back from
No, I mean,
abroad or foreigners?
all over the world, especially whites coming in,
Okay.
to
Wow.
float companies. There are so
Hmm.
many, especially in my locality, in Ogun State. We have a
Yes.
lot of factories, and
Hmm.
there is a measure of security in Ogun State. In the north,
Okay.
I know it's very volatile right now in the north. Abuja upwards, it's very volatile. But down here in the west, it's relatively peaceful. And
Okay.
lots of people are, bringing up one idea or the other, bringing up one business or the other, until
Okay.
I mean, in the last 6 months of recent, that there is this spirit of Jackpot spirit, like they call it. People just want to travel out. They just want to go. Even if they are bank
Okay.
managers, they don't mind being, a janitor in in another bank somewhere overseas.
Hmm.
Everybody want to go, and I don't know what's going to happen yet. I'm still watching myself, watching
Hmm.
to see what's going to happen, especially with the elections coming up next year. We want to see who is going to emerge the next president. That's going to determine a lot of things that's going to happen in Nigeria.
Okay. So you think that if a new government is being formed that is taking care of what exactly for that will make you decide to continue or to leave?
I think I'm going to continue anyhow. I don't think,
Hmm. No, I mean for the
yeah.
people who are leaving to stay or to leave. What what are the best?
When a new
Oh,
government comes into Nigeria and it's
hmm.
a righteous government, the Bible says,
Hmm.
when the righteous is in government, people rejoice. There's going to be a lot of coming back of the people that have left, because they will prefer to be in their homestead doing their honest businesses. There are so many Nigerians that want to do honest businesses, but that all these corner cutting politicians are not allowing, because if you don't join them, they boot you out. That kind of a situation. But some still manage to do what is right.
When you say
That's
they
a
put
lot.
boot you out, what do you mean by
Yeah,
that?
because if you can't join them, I mean, in these in when you have a corrupt setting and you
Yeah.
don't join in the corruption, it's going to be difficult. If there are fewer people on the righteous side and there are more people on the corrupt side, it's going to be more difficult for the righteous people to be in the business rightly. But I said a lot of people are still doing their businesses honestly without cutting corners. I have
Okay.
quite a lot of people that are doing honest businesses without cutting corners.
Then I'm asking, is it who are these people who suffer from corrupt, let's say, politicians? Or is this the small medium businesses or the big businesses or all of them?
I think it's everybody.
Oh my
Even
God.
people not in business yet. I think it's just everybody because it has a rippling effect. Whatever they do up there have this rippling effect all over the economy. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot is going on right now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
A
And
lot is
do you
going on.
think that the people can do something about it? Can they have influence somehow to do something about it? Like I was just
Yeah,
saying in their bubble.
mhm. People are doing their best. They are trying their best, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've said, the people that know that they have somebody that can be pulled if they do something wrong, they are
Yeah.
careful to make sure they do the right thing. And
Mm-hmm.
then even the politicians that want to do malpractices, like
Yes.
ordinarily just erecting gutters somewhere in the
Mm-hmm.
community. They want to
Yeah.
use substandard materials. The people voice out. The people come out and tell the government, no, if you are not going to give us the right materials and do the right thing in here, just don't touch it. Just leave it as it is. Let's continue to suffer it. You know, they come out plainly. And of course, the government have to listen to the voice of the people if they want to continue being in government. So they will do the right thing. That's one thing I've seen, I've noticed the roads that were bad. If they want to put substandard materials to do the road, they said, no, you leave the road right there as it is. We will continue to, suffer on it. But, they also have conscience. Like, people in government also have conscience. And when people voice out like that, or they write to social media and they publicize what is
Then
going
they're
on, they're
leaving
also
it alone.
afraid. Yeah, they are
Okay.
afraid
Yeah.
for the.
Otherwise, they can lose everything in no time. So the people have some power. Then what I hear, they have
Yes,
some
they do.
power.
Yes, they
Okay.
do.
No, that's a good thing then to hear that. At least let's hope that the next with these elections coming up, that there's a better government coming for Nigeria, because I
Yeah.
mean the potential that Nigeria has, but it's huge. And on the other hand, I still hope that the people too will, contribute their own, so that the
Yeah.
government somehow is being forced to bring that change, or to bring this to the people, where, because you see what I like of China is, yes, there's corruption here too, trust me. As you said, it everywhere in the world there is corruption, but the nice
It's
thing is
everywhere.
they eat together. There is a nice, Micah, are you with me? The fish that are eating together,
It's
small, big.
everywhere. It's even worse. It's even
There
worse.
is a there
Yeah.
is a painting, a famous painting here with lots of fishes eating. Do you know that painting? It's very
Hmm.
famous. Small fish, big fish, they're all eating. Now that is the spirit here. Yeah, we
Hmm.
can cheat, but everybody must eat.
So
So it's
what's
Yeah.
the message? So what's the
sorry.
message, Ria?
The
What's the
message
message of
is
the big fish and the small fish?
the message of the big fish and the small fish is, you can actually not make the people suffer. Everybody must get some. If the people are helping you to make money, then please let all of us eat from it. If the people are the ones who are the entrepreneurs, they bring in money, the government can make better roads so that more money, and they can pay more taxes, something like that, so we all eat, we all benefit. I think the focus must be more on, let's all benefit. And I mean, if the government makes it, the climate for entrepreneurs better, there is more money going to flow in the country. That's what happened here. It was even, I think, so at some time, some propaganda that let's all be entrepreneurs. And for real, man, people were just leaving their jobs to become an entrepreneur. Michael, are you with me? Remember those days? Michael?
Yeah, I'm with
Michael?
you. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Do you remember the days where the government was even encouraging the people here to go into business, to start becoming entrepreneurs?
Yeah,
That
they are even
that it
financing
was
them.
an
They
honorable
finance
thing.
them. Yeah, they
Sorry,
finance them.
and
I
they
said they
finance them.
finance
That's
them.
what I mean. And look,
Yes,
look
they
what happened.
mobilize them. They encourage
Yeah,
them. You know,
exactly.
they
And
encourage
actually,
them.
this is the thing, you see, by doing that, they can tax them because if they stay poor, they can't get more money out of them. Both are benefiting. The more entrepreneurs, the more the government can tax, can eat tax. I call it eat tax. So
Mhm.
both can benefit from this. And with the tax, they can bring better infrastructure so that more can do a business. So I think the people too should start demanding certain things. And
Exactly.
more should be forced to become, instead of looking for a government job or a job, to become entrepreneurs. The spirit of entrepreneurship must be embedded in the people.
Encouraged. Yeah.
Sorry?
I said it should be encouraged.
Yeah, very, very much. From small kids, in the don't start in university, start from when they're already in primary, to bring in that mentality of, if I'm an entrepreneur, I can earn far more, I can be my own boss, is more honorable than work for somebody. And as I just said, you can as a family do it as well. If the employees are as well owner of the company, in the sense of that they get shares, even if it's everybody one share or whatever, then they feel more inclined, like, okay, we're not just, working for him, we're actually working for ourselves. You can really uh, bring this on board in your company, and the government can bring this on board to encourage its people to go into business, become entrepreneurs. Anybody else, some more advice, or who want to share something with us about going back to Africa or investing in Africa, or how to prepare as a diaspora to go back?
Yeah, I think Rose is around now. Rose, are you there?
Rose, hello,
Oh,
good evening,
okay.
Rose.
Yes,
How are you
I'm
there with us?
here. I'm here.
Good. We
Good
would like to hear
evening,
more.
everyone. Can
Mhm.
you hear me?
We can hear you very well.
Loud and clear.
Yes, I think this is a very good conversation,
Mhm.
and listening to everyone sharing their investment story, I would say that they are very inspiring
Mhm.
and insightful, and these are very good conversations that we can continue with. Myself, still a very great beginner of investment. After
Okay.
doing enough of our black tax from China to Africa, myself, I'm from Namibia, and now I'm in a place where I'm saying, okay, it's time for me to finish. I'm done with the black tax
Sorry. Mhm.
responsibilities. Now, how can we create things that are not just to create wealth for ourselves, but for also for our future generations? And
Wow.
I like the way um, Maria said that, yes, investing in communities. I think for me, I've also done great community work. Um, After being in China for about 10 years as well, I've experienced and also shared with my community where I've been. And so now I'm actually just at a place where I'm starting to say, okay, how can I create company where mainly I'm very focusing on my skills, which is my passion of communication. I'm
Okay.
looking into creating like a mindset for African girls. How can we change mindset for African girls? Because we also, as we are investing with
Mhm.
finances and physical objects, we also need to invest on how can we change our limiting beliefs, on how can we change and groom people, especially mothers, right? I mean girls. If we groom
Yes.
community of girls, we believe that they are going to teach their children, boys or girls, to even uplift more communities. So what
Yes.
I work more with creating media. I have a media company. So
Mhm.
my past 5 years, I've been doing a lot of content about creating information for China people coming to China, people coming to study in China. But now I'm looking into, okay, how can I look also think really to change lives of girls, like people's mindsets, right? Creating a podcast, creating more of a channel that is going to be more of a company. So I'm just doing that. And I'm still at a
Okay.
starting point.
Mhm.
And some questions that I have, for example, every people who are in China, not only those who are having like maybe working, but for me, I'm a student. I'm still like a student. But even though I'm a student, I have a little saving. Now my question is, if with this little saving, how can you invest? Where can you invest? Now we are grown ups. We need to start thinking of like a retirement investment, all those personal investment before we even go to country investments. And are there some international companies where do you think students or even just people in diasporas can say, okay, this is my retirement investment plan that I can work with? Because I know working with your own with companies at your home country, it's easy. But before we go to our countries, how many years? Maybe we'll take 5 years to get to our own countries. So some of those financial companies that could help people in the diasporas, I think those are also things that we can look at. And if any one of you have advice on that, I think I would want also to accept such advice. Yeah, because going to your home country to set up all those your personal investment portfolios, right? You need to be maybe in your own country, set up certain bank accounts and things. But now, can you set up such plans from abroad before even going back? Because of course in China, it's not easy for you to set that, right? I don't know about anyone's experience, just maybe some insight on that. Yes.
Okay, I don't know if you were with us in the beginning, because which
I was
country
not.
are you in now? Thank you, by the way.
I'm in China right now. I'm in China, but I was not
But
here at the beginning. That's why. Yeah. I joined maybe about an hour now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because actually there was a lady here. Let me see if she's still there. Is she still there with us, Michael? Let me see. No, she already left. Which is a pity.
She already
Because
left. She left.
she already left. Yeah, I see. Because she was saying that in bonds, I don't know if you have bonds in your country, and you were saying something that not necessarily in your country you would like to invest, but maybe abroad. About this, what she said is specifically that in your country it's safe because it's your country, you see. And in this country, it is for everybody, there is an expiring date. The expiring date is most of the time 60, unless you marry a local, of course. That's a different story. But based on that, if it's in your own country, it's always there waiting for you. It's your own land, so you can protect it very well. Because, I mean, who can take anything from you in your own country, right? Especially if you do it the right way. Um, I don't know if you have bonds in your country. Which country are you from, by the way? Again, sorry.
Namibia.
Oh, Namibia. Oh my goodness. Namibia is a wonderful country. And I think you guys it's very organized, what I was told. I have a good friend from there. And if you are in China, and you specifically want to invest in Namibia or somewhere else? That is what I didn't got so far.
Yeah, I think Namibia will be the starting place because right, that's easier for you to do research and find the information. But for me now, I'm looking at, okay, are there other ways to invest any other place apart from Namibia, apart from China, which is also difficult for you to understand, Yeah.
Okay. Maybe in another program I can explain that, because right now it was more about people who would like to invest in their own country, or for diaspora who would like to go back. This program is more about that. Maybe in another program I'll definitely invite you. We can talk about other places, because right now we are in this program focused on investing in Africa.
In our countries. Yes, I
Not
understand that.
necessarily in your country. No, 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 no. It there was in the beginning there was another gentleman from Cameroon who found, for example, an investor in Tunisia. You see, a partner in Tunisia. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you're from Namibia. Maybe you invest in South Africa.
Hi guys, I will join you guys back later. Sorry, I don't want to obstruct. I will join you guys back later. Let me pray quickly, okay? I just want to tell you guys. Okay, I
Thank
love
you
you
so
guys.
much.
Let me pray.
Thank
Okay,
Okay,
God
bye.
bless.
We
you.
appreciate.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you,
One
sir.
love.
Okay, I'll join back. I'll join. I'll
Uh-huh.
join. Let me just pray. Yeah. Okay,
Okay, I'll see you
Okay,
soon
thank you.
again. Huh? Mm. Yeah, so you don't necessarily have to be in your own country. Like, for example, now Maria must be an expert in her own country, or you're in China. I mean, one luck of China is that you have 54 embassies here. So you can easily go to each embassy, go and do your research, ask them, okay, what are the investment opportunities for me as student, in your country? And they will tell you. Or, yeah, I think start from the embassies because the embassies would know.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I want to.
Yeah.
I want to say something about. I want to say something
yes.
about that. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm sure, Ria, you understand what I'm about to say.
Yes,
When we first
I
came,
will.
when we all, yeah,
Uh-huh.
when we all came,
But I have to be
the first
careful, right?
strategy, yeah,
Uh-huh.
the
Uh-huh.
first strategy is
Hmm.
locating a credible Chinese company. We are in China,
Yes.
right? Uh-huh. Locate a credible Chinese company and sign a deal with them that you want to be their manufacturer representative. You might be in China, but identify somebody you can trust back in your country. You are from Namibia, right?
Yes,
Locate
sir.
a locate a Chinese company that is interested in investing in Namibia. Search, go to Alibaba, www.alibaba.com. They are all there. Ask questions.
Yes.
Which company is investing, or which company, or go to your embassy, liaise with your embassy. They
Yes.
have a list. They have a list of all these people
Yes.
that are investing in your country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let
Yes.
me tell you, I'm the publisher and CEO of Bridge Africa magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and we spotlight on different African countries. And the target is to spotlight, to showcase different, the beauty, the culture, and investment opportunities in different African countries. And by
Yes.
so doing, we deal directly with ambassadors, with embassies, ambassadors of
Yes.
different embassies.
Very
Ria,
good. Yeah.
yeah, Ria is
Yes.
our coordinator in Beijing. So by so doing, she has a catalog of all ambassadors list in her hand. So if you want to connect with any ambassador of any African country, grab her. Grab your copy now.
Yes.
Oh God.
So
No.
she will connect you with your ambassador if you don't have a link to your ambassador. We are presently
That's
making an
true because
agreement.
Namibia has actually a very interesting ambassador. He's
Exactly.
very nice
You see what
person,
you
and
see
he
what
would
I told
love
you.
you if he hears you want to invest in your country.
You
He
see
would
what
love
I
you
said?
so much.
So
Yes.
they have a list of Chinese that are investing, that have interest in Namibia. So connect with them. Tell them you want to be their representative back home. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't want to leave China for Namibia, get some people, some corporate bodies that are doing something in Namibia. Let them sign a deal with them. Let them be your eyes. And by so doing, whatever they are investing back home, you will be getting your shares. You are like a bridge. You are here and getting something from Namibia. It works for us. Definitely, it can
Yes.
work for you. You
Yes.
understand? God will continue to usher your steps, and He will give you the wisdom to know the right ones and between the right and the wrong. You understand? They are there. They are looking for people to represent their interests. You are here, but your being here is an asset. You
Exactly.
understand?
Use it very
So
well. Don't sit still as a student.
Don't take it for granted.
Yes.
You understand? Like I also I have like five companies, five Chinese companies that I went to invest back home in those days. Before, but we gain from it. We gain a lot. Just tell them you want to be their representative. You have people at home who is serious. Maybe one or twice they might send you back home. They might sponsor your trip back home and all that.
Exactly. You
Go
see how
there.
many positives is in it?
Yes. For
Yes,
instance,
Michael,
now,
whip it up, whip
like
it up.
yeah, like now, my partner's trip,
Whip him up, whip him up.
my partner's return trip was sponsored to Nigeria to scout for
Mhm.
Wow.
lithium ore.
Wow.
So by the implication is if everybody we benefit from this.
Mhm.
You are already here. You are already here. There are people back home that are looking up onto you to be their anchor, to be their bridge, to be their blessing.
Yes.
You understand?
Now,
Yes.
even when I was now, even
Okay,
when
go
I was
ahead.
listening, now even when I was
Mhm.
listening to the conversation, I was writing down my notes, and one thing that came to my head is creating a network of, to say, invest in Namibia, and
Exactly.
in, like, maybe create a network of, okay, diaspora invest in Namibia. That's, and then I will bring this information, take out this information, connecting also
Exactly.
Namibians in China who are also looking for the same information as me, and also looking for companies who are already investing in Namibia. This is maybe my next step that I can even start with, because I like the way you are giving me that information and it's
And
aligning with that
Rose,
idea.
Rose, when it works out for you, remember my 10%.
I know, Mr. Michael.
Yes, of course. Because no, but Rose, the other thing as well. Sorry, that we push you back to go home and not to go invest in other people's country outside of
No,
the continent.
Yes.
I'm sorry that we're like
no,
this. So
it's
Michael came
good.
immediately to my aid. Sorry, I'm really so much
Yeah,
Africa
No,
passion.
it's
I'm sorry
very,
for that.
very good.
Okay,
You know,
happy that you say this.
because mostly we are thinking, okay, we are in
Uh-huh.
China. Where can we invest? Even, you have a 100 renminbi. You can spend it on Taobao, right? If you look at the history
Mm-hmm.
of money you spend on Taobao, could be a
Yeah,
million, could be within that 20 years you've been here, Ria,
yeah.
you could have spent so much, right? But now,
Mhm,
if we had that knowledge, even to say, okay, with 100 renminbi, we can create compound interest. 20 years,
mhm,
you have whatever you
mhm.
have. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, the challenge is to say, oh, where do I start? Am I looking in China? Am I looking in another country? Or there's an
Yeah.
international body that could help with such? That's why I was now thinking. But if we network like that to take back home, obviously that's a very big advantage, because
Yeah.
our hearts and minds are always home, right? Even though
Of
we are not
course.
there physically. Yes,
See,
yes,
let me tell you, home is where real rest. Real rest is assured. Knowing
Yes.
what to
yes.
do, type of getting what you want. You know,
Yes.
Mm,
when you know
yes.
some companies back home in Namibia, you are
Mhm.
from
Mm,
Namibia, get some
yeah,
company, real estate companies that are looking for people to come and, especially Chinese, to come and maybe invest back home. The investors,
yes,
Chinese investors or non-African or African investors that want to invest back in Namibia in your country. Just form a
yes.
synergy between them, advertise for them that okay, even if it is for free, many people will show interest in what they are doing back home. They see your
Mm-hmm,
advert, they see you eat on your moment. You want to
mm-hmm,
buy land in Namibia, you want to buy real estate, and it's always cheaper. The thing is,
mm-hmm.
the thing Chinese always consider is once you mention the figure, they will calculate it. Once it's cheap, they will connect with you. They love free
Mm,
things. They love something. They know. You understand? They
mm,
know all this.
yes,
They
yes.
will connect with you, and you will make your money from those companies back home, and at the same time from Chinese. Even if the people back home call it maybe 10 maybe for instance, double it
Mm-hmm,
or triple it, you will make your
yes,
profit from both ends.
yes.
You
Thank
will
you.
crave boom for yourself.
Mm,
Wisdom does it. You know,
mm,
wisdom does it. You are here.
Yes.
Your being here is
Yes.
not for fun. You didn't come to
Yes.
this place to count bridge. You
Yes.
come, you come to this place to make money.
yes.
Knowing what to do is half of getting what you want. Should be your motto. Should be
Mm,
your hand. So once you know all these things, just task your
Also, I
brain.
would add on this.
You
yes,
understand?
sir. Thank you, sir.
There
Wisdom
is
is
lots of
profitable to direct.
exhibitions. There's lots of
Yes.
exhibitions all over the country.
Exhibition,
City,
go
are
to
you
their
in?
exhibition. There's this place, there's this
I mean,
group, EACHA, European African Chamber of
Yeah.
Commerce. We always see all these Ghanaian people coming there. Register, join, be part of them. I can connect you if you want. I can connect you. There's no way you can be a member of EHM that they will even be sponsoring your trip if you have time.
Yes.
They will invite you. They will pay for your hotel. They will pay for your for transportation, and you will connect with a lot of people there. You can by if you attend
but
one
okay,
single
you must
event.
tell them the wait, because I must tell you the rules, because many of the students I brought there, some of them are not been accepted. Make sure that you, before you go there, open a company.
Yes.
It's easy to register a
Yes, of
company
course.
online. Invest in that, because if you have a company, you're not being seen as a student. You see, then you've been seen as an entrepreneur. But if you go to this organization, what Michael just mentioned, and any of the others, the minute they see that you're just a student, they will not, with all of the exhibitions sponsored.
There's a strategy to that too.
Yeah.
There's a strategy.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I know, because I got burned a bit, so that's why I say make sure that
I won't say it openly. Just connect with me. I will give you the trick.
I will
okay?
I will add your WeChat. I will add your
Love you,
WeChat, Mr. Michael. I will add your WeChat, Miss Rhea. I will add your WeChat. Yes.
Okay.
No problem.
I'll find you. I will
I don't want to see you at all. Do nothing here. Start going back, because anybody we can get on board to go and invest in Africa. We will push you. We will do whatever we have to do to get you there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
All
You're
right.
welcome. Yeah. We appreciate your presence.
Well done, Michael. Hey, Michael in the house. Fire in the house. Woo! Michael, I like your fire, man. Ah!
Thank you.
Didn't know you could do it. We're waiting for the next time. It's all on you now. Well done, Michael. Hey.
It's necessary, because when you see some people who are here but doesn't know how to tap into what they have, it pains me. You understand?
You alone, me too. All they want to do is go to the next bar or the next dancing or whatever.
Exactly.
Where is the next alcohol instead of doing these things? Yeah, I know. I encourage as much as I can, but not everybody is encourageable.
Exactly.
You know that.
The challenge most people have is lack of information. You will know the
I
truth.
think it's not only that as well, Michael. It's as well, sometimes I see shyness.
Exactly. Networking. Many people don't want to network. Many people don't want to network. When you create the culture of the culture of networking, you mix with people.
I want to ask you something, Michael.
Different opportunities. Yeah.
Michael, now that you are in this conversation, I want to ask, because I see many of our people, we never get invited to some of the fairs, right? Can we not start our own thing where we ourselves will connect with whoever is organizing these fairs, so that our students can go, even if they have to go by bus? We don't care. We organize it, or that we can find how you call it, sponsorship for them. It must be possible. Can we not start looking into that and starting our own EHM? Let's call it that way. Because why do we always have to rely on others to make it happen?
Yeah, it's
or a deal with EHM that we want to become a partner of you, something like that.
Yeah, but we also have an African version of EHM, which is AFCHAM.
An African version? Where? What's the name?
Yes, African Chamber of Commerce.
I heard a lot about it, but is it a real chamber of commerce, or is it just a company? Because I was told it's a company.
It's a company, but they are also in partnership with EHM.
So
so when you join them, you are actually you are practically part of them, and it's just like BAM, British Africa Magazine. We are also partner with EHM.
Okay.
And don't forget that
IDFA actually as well.
EHM, is an African Chamber of Commerce is was we are together like their what's it called, their president, their chairperson, is actually our editor-in-chief, general editor-in-chief. So he branched out to form African Chamber of Commerce. So we are always together. So we are like the media partner of African Chamber of Commerce and EACHAM. We just want to remain neutral. We want to remain neutral, focus on the media, being their media partner. You understand? But they want to be like practical. So you will see that every event they have, they invite us. We go there, we cover the event, we report it on the magazine. You understand?
Yes.
We want to focus on media aspects.
Okay, I see.
Media.
So
and there's
so
no way
basically
you
what you're
do
saying
media.
at the moment we don't have an organ yet that is focused on the students. Is that what I hear? Or not only students, I think as well on people who are
the African
working,
Chamber, they can
employees
provide
who
for
are
it.
working somewhere, teachers.
Yeah, African Chamber of Commerce can also cater for all these things.
I think it's time that they start organizing something, because I will complain now a little bit. I don't see many Africans on these exhibitions, which I pity because it's also really needed.
Do you blame them? You can't blame anybody for not being there because the protocol is too much.
Yes.
The protocol is too much.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you, but that's our fault. I think
you don't
it's
blame
our
them
fault because we
you don't
ask.
blame anybody for not attending.
No, okay,
Even
wait.
I was invited, but I couldn't go because the protocol was too much.
I went. I was there.
Oh, how was it? Anyway, you are our representative. You are our eyes. So
it was not what it is normally. It was not too many people. Not too many. Indeed, the protocol was it was heavy. Hey, it was not a joke. Even the one where I am now. I'm now in Wenzhou. It's another protocol to go cuckoos with.
Yeah, can you see?
Yeah, I've mine as well. Give me 2 seconds. I show you. Yeah. No, it is. Wait.
But I deliberately don't want to go.
Look.
Okay, that's yours. Yes, exactly.
You see? So
yes.
But for me, it is like we have to start organizing ourselves too. We're not organized. That's why it should be organized.
Let me just come in as I'm listening to Michael and Ria speaking about their attendance. Even for us like students, we get invited to so many events in China, and we just go there and we like, okay, we're going there for maybe pictures or anything, but in essence of real meaning of us attending, it's like, okay, what are we going to do there? What is the purpose, because a lot of maybe even attend events is more of just, okay, they publish their article, their video, student had come here or foreigner came here. But as a students, we don't really understand why can we attend these events. Even at the beginning when we came to China, they take us maybe to different expos and other things, but we really don't know how can we use this information, and now you just continue attending event after event after event, but in real essence, maybe we don't grasp that information to use it in our everyday life and put it in practical. Yeah.
Actually, that's why I go to so many of them. I'm researching to see, okay, how can we benefit? How can we use it? What should we do? So actually, it's me being a bit lazy yet because it's so much time it's going to take. But I will put something together and do another Zoom where I will enlighten you.
Yeah, before we round up, I want to which one of our brothers, he has been around since we started till now. Today is his birthday. I want us to wish him happy birthday. His name is Ituma Anya Ezishi. Ituma Anya Ezishi.
Okay.
I want to wish him
I don't
happy
see
birthday.
him here. Okay. Well, go ahead. I will sing with him. I will sing with you. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday, dear friend.
Birthday.
Because I don't know your name.
Yeah, his name is Victor.
To you. Hooray! Well, I always say this, and I will say it to you too. You became a year younger, wiser, stronger, and more handsome. So I would say it's the perfect occasion to appreciate yourself that you came this far and pamper yourself tremendously. Happy birthday. Congrats, huh? Have fun.
Happy birthday.
And let me have the Italian version. Tanti
Okay.
auguriate, tanti auguriate, tanti
Wow.
auguriate, Victor. Tanti auguri Buon compleanno.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, eh? And don't
Let
forget
me have
to
the
pamper
Namibian.
yourself.
Let me have the
Appreciate yourself
Namibian
today.
version. Namibian
Which
Okay.
version.
version? Wow, okay. Wow, this guy's having a day.
Evalori wa move. Evalori wa move. Evalori wa move. Evalori wa move. Hip hip hooray!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hooray.
Thank you so much.
Happy
Congratulations,
birthday.
eh?
Many happy
Happy birthday
returns.
once again. Is there somebody
Thank
else
you.
who wants to do it in their own language? What is
Thank you
this?
so much.
Michael, I want to hear it in Nigerian language. What is your tribe?
Koluwa pẹ̀lú rẹ. Koluwa pẹ̀lú rẹ.
Wow.
Koluwa pẹ̀lú rẹ. Koluwa pẹ̀lú rẹ. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún láyé. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún láyé. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún láyé.
Hooray. Which language was that? Which language was that?
That is Yoruba language. Yoruba.
Oh, Yoruba. Hey, well done. Nice one. Okay. Well,
Many
I
happy
think I will leave
returns.
it to you to round up and
Okay.
say the goodbyes to our guests.
Yeah.
Thank you, by
We
the way, for everybody.
on behalf of the team, we want to appreciate you for your presence tonight. It's been insightful. We have been having good conversations on how to make things work for those who are returning back and those who are still in their present country but wants to have an instinct. But wants to have an experience of what to do back home. It's been so insightful. It's been revealing, and like we said, knowing what to do is sort of getting what you want. We believe that by at least you have gotten some hints from all the things we have been saying since morning. We ask you to also go back to our YouTube channel, watch it once again to get the facts from A to Z. We appreciate, we believe that, when you know all these things, when watch all these things, and some ideas will be coming to you, some ideas that will make you have a safe landing back home. Like I said, the Omega Pro is a forex trading investment. So armless. Many people are doing it. We brought it to you. If you check our Zoom, we brought it before, and we are still bringing it again. We won't stop showcasing, bringing different, different Zoom meetings that will impact life. This Zoom is about impacting life. This Zoom is about, opening your ideas, connecting you to different ideas that will make you to be that will make you to create boom for yourself and your generations. And also by so doing, we want to appreciate our Ria, the woman who always do it for Africa. We thank you for bringing this topic to us. We appreciate you. We believe it has impacted so many people, and it will continue to impact many people as long as they continue to watch it on the YouTube, because it's not just for us in Zoom alone. It's for many people out there. And it will continue. It's a trending topic. It's a trend. is a topic that will forever be relevant, you know. So definitely we are going to have part 2, because we are still under this topic. We are still having some investment companies back home that we want to tell us how people who are coming home can benefit from them.
Yes.
So we want
yes,
to thank
yes.
Emilia Bywaters too, our Mama Daily Nuggets. Then Epo, I think Epo is having, Ken is having problem with his network.
Internet,
He has
yeah.
gone. Then we have Mrs. Dr. Olabinjo Giwande. Then we have Justina Jala. She came, Barrister Justina Jala, she came and left. I guess she's in another meeting. She told me that she has to go.
Mhm.
You know, we have
Okay.
Rose. Yes, we have Rose. Then we have our author of life changing author of life changing steps, you know,
Mhm.
to achieve your dreams, from Italy. You know, he's the one that sang Happy Birthday song in Italy. We appreciate you for your immense contribution tonight. It's evergreen. It's
Oh, please, can he
evergreen.
leave his information as well for us? The one
Yes,
from Italy?
yes, I have it. Yes, I think yes. I think it will drop it. It will drop his contacts. You know,
Okay.
then we also have
Mhm.
Tunde.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Yeah, good afternoon. I think my information is available with my good brother Michael Kolawole.
Yeah.
Okay, I will
So
get it from him. It's okay. I will get it from him.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you very
Partners.
much.
Then we also have
Maybe one of these days,
yes.
maybe one of these days, if I have opportunity and I have the chance, I can always come to encourage and motivate us on how we can achieve our dreams.
Very good. Very
Excellent.
good.
I love that. Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
We
You're
we
very
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Very, very welcome.
We appreciate it, because many people want to hear you speak. They want to hear they want to tap from your depth of wisdom. You know, so
Yes.
we appreciate your coming
And
on board to partner
experience.
with us.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Yes. Then we also have Eric Masaba from UK. Eric Masaba, if you recall, I mean, is the initiator of this Uber in UK. Is the one who found who invented Uber in and some other, I mean, things in UK. You know,
Wow.
although they just want they try to, you know, to deprive him of the rights to, you
Oh
know,
my
to
God.
own the franchise and all that, but he has won it now. He has won it.
Whoa,
So
okay.
yeah,
Where is he? Is he on
so,
still?
yeah,
Congrats, man.
yeah, I think he has left. He said he has to attend to other things. Yes.
Okay.
Then we also appreciate our own Malia Kagbo, you know, from Sierra Leone.
Made in
But
China.
made in China. You know, we
Yeah,
also
wish her
appreciate.
success with her album that she can. Oh, you guys should listen to it, by the way. Made in China. Woo!
Made in China.
Yeah,
you
very
will, you will,
nice. You should re-listen
yeah,
to this album. Mhm.
exactly. It's going to be on the magazine. We have interviewed her, and you know, we are going to give it a full publicity on the magazine. Then
Excellent. You should
yes,
definitely
then
listen to it.
we also want to appreciate Victor, the celebrant, for staying with us since morning till now. You have been wonderful.
Mhm.
It's okay, just 11:49 here. Then we have who came and left. Who came and left. Okay, I think it's just, okay. Ben has actually connected with me. I think Ben, is he still with us or he has left? So we believe that you know, when we call for, you know, anyway, we meet every Saturday. So make it a day with us. Every Saturday, every blessed Saturday, we always have one program or the other that will impact
Yes.
lives. So next Saturday, join us same time, 1 to 3 p.m. Nigerian time and 8 to 10 p.m. China time. You will surely be, I mean, you'll be impacted. There's no way you won't be impacted with our Zoom meetings, because next week we are having Mrs. Nancy Oblete to share with us on some you know, some things, you know. So watch out for our you know, announcements and publicity, and make it a date. Thank you so much for coming. One love. Ria?
Thank you, everybody. Really.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Have a
night.
wonderful weekend.
You too. Have a
Bye-bye.
fantastic weekend.
Thank you. Have a
See
wonderful
ya.
weekend. We
Till
appreciate your
next
coming.
weekend. Bye, Michael.
Be our guest next weekend. Yeah, one
Yeah.
love.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
one
you.
love, one love, one
Bye
love.
bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
one
Bye.
love,
One love.
one love.
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah, one love. Bye bye.
Reserve my cook and pizza.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. I will.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, one love. Yeah. Yeah.
One
Bye
love.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Have a nice weekend. Yeah.
The recording has stopped.
It's Mike Gibson Records. It's time to discuss the roadmap to Africa for diaspora and non-native Africans. We are going higher. We are moving higher. Go Africa, going higher. We are moving higher. Go Africa. Join Miss Ria and do it for Africa. Mr. Ken, Ubuntu DNA, and Dr. Olabinjo Yewande, Linguistic Department of the University of Lagos, and our moderators as we discuss the roadmap to Africa for diaspora and non-native Africans this Saturday. We are going higher. We are moving higher. Go Africa, going higher. We are moving higher. Go Africa.